My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jacob and I are going to break down the entire UFC Vegas 109 fight card, giving you our picks, our predictions, our bets, and our DraftKings Fantasy Plays. Jacob, before we jump in, what is this a picture of?
I don't know if there's a trick question or something, but...
No. What is this a picture of?
It looks like a mushroom to me.
It's Fun Guy.
Okay.
And Jacob and I are a couple of fun guys. And the reason I'm putting this in here is because every week this video does anywhere from, 15 to 30,000 views, depending on the quality event. And every week somebody new shows up and says, why the hell is this video so damn long? Get to the point. And this is a reminder that we're just a couple of fun guys hanging out, breaking down fights, giving you picks and bets. If you want something a little more to the point.
Is there any way for you to give me like a heads up or clear things with me? Because this is like the worst thing I literally have ever heard in my fucking life. We could have came up with something like a promo video of like highlights of us laughing and stuff. So people are like, oh, they are fun guys. Instead, my creativity would have taken that idea to another level. You said, oh my God, let me get a picture of a couple mushrooms, call him Fun Guy, and run with that.
Just really set the tone for the quality of joke you're going to get in this breakdown. But the message does need to be put out there because this video is going to end up long. We're going to meander. We're going to break some balls. That's how this goes. But if you want a little more to the point kind of breakdown, I break down these cards on Sundays.
Same.
Just me, solo. Then again on Thursdays, actually Friday mornings, in the DraftKings video, I race through that in about 30 minutes. Sometimes Jacob does his own. So there are much faster, more to the point breakdowns from your boys. Or if you go to the website, we just have all the picks listed and our confidence levels. Okay, couple of fun guys. But it's not all fun and games, Jacob. I've been putting in some work. I have been getting it done. Here's a look at my last 5 cards. I know you're going to have to zoom in to see the details, but this is every bet that I have placed in the last 5 cards.
It's a lot of green.
There's a lot of green. And last week at UFC Vegas 108, I put up 1.5.
By the way, what color is that shirt?
This is like desert brown, like where you get a sweet Toyota Tacoma in, and then you get the fucking copper rims.
It looks like what I almost puked up on the mats today.
Oh, here we go. Hey, Jacob went to his first ever. It didn't take him long, did it? How long we're live for 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Go ahead, Jacob. Tell him about your first ever.
I figured you'd have a slide. You don't have a slide for me? I think it should be the weekly. I think we should have a weekly
progress chart.
Update.
A progress chart.
Honestly, it doesn't sound like a bad idea. A little 5-minute spiel on how the jiu-jitsu's going.
It's funny. I emailed Hayabusa, a big partner of the show. We love them. And I said, what more can we do? Like, what else do you need us to do? How more can I help? I know you're sponsoring UFC BJJ. You have this whole new line of stuff. And he was just like, keep doing you. Just talk about your own jiu-jitsu journey. So I was like, all right, in the next vlog, I'll talk about how me starting jiu-jitsu is how any of this exists. The show exists. My friendship with you exists. It literally all is because of the path I was set down in jiu-jitsu.
Well, it's because of Jesus Christ.
Sure. And what's your jiu-jitsu journey? I mean, I know what it is, but what do you?
Yeah,
what do you want to say your jiu-jitsu journey is?
What do you mean? What kind of question is that?
What got you into jiu-jitsu?
I mean, there's a lot of Brazilian women that do jiu-jitsu, and apparently none of them show up to these classes.
It's a packed men's class. They do have a women's only class. The women who show up to those classes are the ones that are like very dedicated.
What does that mean?
That
they're
they're
softball players?
No, and I think some of them are high school kids out for the summer, so be careful. No, they're like the ones that have been going for a while, and they're have the middle of the day to train.
Wow, someone said hardest belt to get is not the black belt, it's the white belt. Kudos to you, Jacob. And I think I'm on that path. Angelo almost got fucked up today. You felt that. I could have rolled into that.
Dude, it was, first of all.
I could have rolled into that.
I don't even know what the hell we were doing. And Jacob.
You were just hanging on my leg.
Oh, yeah. I was holding a leg, and then I felt him put his arm around. I said, okay. And then I could tell, I've been doing this long enough to know what the other person is thinking. And I instantly felt the moment of like, I was like, he thinks he's a fucking genius right now. So he reached his arm over. He thought he was going to get some dumbass darce or something. I think I just backed out and I was like, you thought you were going to get a darce there? And you were just like, yeah, did you feel it? It's like, yeah, no shit, I felt it.
You know, the fun thing was, because I went to my orientation class last week, which was a gi, and obviously it was a little bit slower paced or whatever, but I didn't really free roll either. I was just with a guy that was just showing me the basic stuff, right? He was a great guy, purple belt, that was like, here, let me just show you this. And so instead of free rolling, we basically just went over like the initial stuff. So this time was the first time I've actually ever free rolled, and obviously you were giving me some position and stuff, but to actually be like in those positions and feel those positions for the first time, like even having my arm around and being like, oh, this is how you would feed it through, and thinking about the process of doing that while you're doing that for the first time is actually really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's its own animal. You'll have highs and lows. Like, you'll feel like, wow, I'm really this is great. I'm making progress. And then you'll get fucked up for a month.
And today was, like, I mean, we're working with like, today was fucking, I was like, is this like the advanced class? Because they have advanced jiu-jitsu. Because it was like, he's like, we're going to go from the X guard to here, and then it's like a 12-step process to get the back. It literally is like, and then you're going to do this, and then you're going to change your grip to this, and then you're going to do this to this. And I'm like, I don't know what the fucking X guard is, buddy. Yeah. And then like, okay, break. And it's like, whoa, that's the thing. Jiu-jitsu is, I've only been 2 times or whatever. It's very interesting because it's great that you just kind of get thrown to the wolves. You kind of just are figuring stuff out on your own. But at the same time, it also is very overwhelming because you're not coming up with everybody. It's just a bunch of people you don't know, especially with Nogi, you don't know anything, what anybody else can do or anything. And you're just kind of, nobody's kind of telling you what to do when you're in that free roll. Like, you're trained at what you're training. But then when you get to free roll, you're just kind of like, oh shit, I'm in somebody's guard. What the fuck do I do now? And obviously, if it's a higher belt or whatever, they'll say like, you should probably do this. Like that black belt today, he was like fucking locked in guard, and I was just like, and he was like, but you put your knee on my butt and back up, you know. So they do try to help or whatever, but it literally is like if you just went to an NBA game and they just threw you on the court. It's like, because some of these guys are like NBA players in jiu-jitsu, and I've never done it before ever. Like, I've watched it, but could you imagine just being on an NBA court and all of a sudden you just got to figure it out?
I think they do have beginner classes, but they don't tell beginners they can't go to the norm. This is not like that was a very normal jiu-jitsu class. You do a warm up, you learn a technique, you practice the technique, and then you roll. And there was everything from a second class white belt all the way to multiple stripe black belts. It was like 4 or 5. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's that's just how that goes.
But it's cool. And I got beat to shit. My shins are beat. Yeah, I even had that picture.
You'll have to learn. I told my buddy Hayes the same thing because I was rolling with him, and he's been doing it for a while. He's good. But
Angelo was
everything
sucking on my arms today. Just
how are you like that crazy. Bruised? Who the hell was grabbing your arms like this?
I mean, that was when I had you in the arm triangle. And
I didn't do that shit.
And I was giving you mommy's milk.
Okay. Anyway, I don't even know what the hell I was just saying. Oh, you'll learn when you can relax and not relax because everything you do is like. Just
well, and also at the bottom too, I always forget. Because in my mind, like it was even like when we grappled in our like fight or whatever, in my mind, it is get to your feet as fast as you can. Like get anything you can like in to just push people off and try to get back to your feet. Where jiu-jitsu, it's like, oh, you just pull guard. Like that's not in my head. Like I'm so ingrained of like, don't fucking do that. Like I think literally just of people being like, don't fucking pull guard. But in those situations, obviously when you're grappling in jiu-jitsu, you can just fucking throw somebody in your guard. And I always forget that. So I'm always like panicky to try to.
I mean, I panic. Yeah, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
I'm positive I'll win the scramble. I'm getting out of there.
Yeah, it is cool, too, to have a somewhat knowledgeable base beforehand as well, because when I was grappling with that black belt or with your friend or whatever, they went for a few things that I knew what was going on. Like, he went for the Kimura originally, and I covered it with the hip, and obviously he hit a sweep I didn't realize, but he even tried like an arm bar, and I postured up. So to know those little things before you go in was actually kind of cool as well. It's not like, why are his legs going up? Oh, God, It was like, oh, he's grabbing my arm. I know what he's doing here,
Yeah, the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get.
Yeah, it's only day 2.
Yeah, no, Jacob's doing a good job. That's the first time Jacob and I have ever done any of that, right? I fought his ass, but that's different. But anyway, back to me
And you
blowing myself with these bets.
You almost got thrown in that. That thing was locked in. All I had to do was roll, and you were done.
The darts that everybody felt coming from 2
It was
weeks
Anaconda.
away. Whatever. I felt the arm come over. I was like, he thinks he's going to fucking...
Well, I tried to just dig my arm under your neck like this, and I was like, I don't know where his neck is at. Like, I was like...
Yeah, okay.
I literally was like going back and forth, like, where the fuck is... I felt cheek and then like shoulder and stuff. Just neck's got to be in there somewhere. So I was like, fuck it. I'll just Anaconda this shit.
Yeah. Listen, Timmy, whatever the fuck, says Angelo's a self-glazer. You're goddamn right, you muppet. You're goddamn right. I sit here week in and week out, video after video.
Tell them, dig into them. I dig into them on the Saturday streams.
We got 420,000 views in the last 28 days. And I sit here and I have to put my nuts on the line, picks and bets and breakdowns. This guy beats this guy, here's how. This guy beats that guy's, here's how. A few cards ago, I went. A few cards ago at UFC Nashville, I went 11-1, and people complained about the one that I got wrong. So yes, when things are going well, I am going to glaze the hell out of myself, and things are going well. Here's the last 5 cards. I am consistent, Ange. The most inconsistent thing here is that safety parlay. We'll talk about that later. The rest of the bets, absolutely slapping. Look at the green. It is not an accident. It's hard work. It's doing the research, and it's not overly exposing yourself.
Saying you're going to fuck their aunt. That's what I always do.
Yeah, but I mean, some of them definitely have ugly aunts.
You know what I said, too, in the live chat? I was like, type in 8 in the chat if you have a hot aunt. And like 50 people typed 8. I'm like, you guys are
disgusting. That's your aunt, creeps? You filthy animal.
I got you.
Yeah. The reality is, though, I am on a nice little streak here. It's getting overshadowed. Last week, for example. Crushed last card. I crushed that last card. Crushed it. I did miss the safety parlay. So do you think people said, great card? No, they said the safety parlay missed. UFC Abu Dhabi. I was down $30. I had 100 on the safety parlay. Would have been up money if I didn't have that stupid fucking thing. Week before that, crushed, made money. Safety parlay missed. Safety parlay's not doing well. Everything else is. So we'll have a discussion later. Do we even keep that fucking thing? Because I'm crushing without it.
By the way, guys, I gave him advice this week. I said, don't do 1, do 4 of them. Because that's what I would do. Because I'm a man. And when things aren't going well with lock of the week, I say, you know what? Fucking 3 lock of the weeks. Here's a double lock of the week. Boom, and we get back on track.
You didn't, though.
But I did.
Here's the thing, guys. Doing quite well. And so did the AI. The artificial intelligence last week at UFC Vegas 108 went 11-1. That's a 92% pick accuracy. The only pick it got wrong was Rebecca, which that's what screwed me up as well.
People said a question. That was a robbery. I didn't.
You know what's crazy? So Rebecca is the only reason the safety parlay didn't hit. And I was like, that was the correct decision. And I didn't even think it was controversial. So to see people commenting on the video, Rebecca got robbed. I was shocked.
Twitter afterwards, and I was like I knew that we were very exposed. I just need a finish. So I should be the one that's most upset. Like fucking that fight probably should have been stopped from his eye after the fucking second round. Yeah. But I knew how exposed we were on Rebecca, and I was watching. I was like, I guess there's an outside chance maybe he's able to win something. But it felt like Duncan pretty convincingly won the second and third.
Yeah. It seemed very straightforward to me. So when people were saying that wasn't the case, I was surprised. But the artificial intelligence, the only pick it got wrong was Rebecca. It went 11-1. All this is doing is picking fights based solely off historical data. We have this question. What AI model do you use for the simulator? I didn't develop it. The same person who developed the tools, like the simulator and everything else, developed the AI. It's a neural net AI. It is a genuine AI. I think he's got like 100 different neural nets. Like this one is predicting fights only off of, or there's like 50 predicting fights only off of strikes, only off of grappling, only off of biometrics. And then he takes those and then they predict against each other. It's like this big complicated ass bullshit. It is genuine AI. AI gets thrown around a lot. It is learning as it goes. The more data we give it, the more data it learns from. It's a neural net AI, if that means anything to any of you. What it is not is just like a fancy calculator. So that's all. You can check out the AI. You can check out the picks. You can check out the bets and the tools. Premium membership on our website is only $10 for an entire month. And it's not just, oh, Angelo had a good week, or, oh, the artificial intelligence had a good week. There's a whole suite of tools to help you find your way. The fight simulator simulates fights 100,000 times, and it gives you those outputs. You can take all of the individual stats along the way from the fight simulator. I'll show you in a little bit how we used it to crush Prize Picks last week. The fight simulator, the optimizer, the data analyzer, all the tools we have. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. You'll unlock an entire month's worth of cards for $10. Here's the 4 cards you're going to get if you sign up right now. You get Vegas 109, 319, which is next week. That main event is getting more and more exciting the closer we get. UFC Paris, I think, and then UFC Shanghai as well. All those cards, $10 for an entire freaking month of access. No upsell, no cross-sell, no weird packages. It's $10 for an entire month. If you want to do a year, it's only $100. You want to do lifetime, it's $300. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. What the hell were you laughing at?
Someone said, imagine Ange selling you a fridge.
What's the problem with that?
It's just a funny idea. You'd just be so passionate about it.
I'm passionate. What I can't do is fake. I'm just kind of me all the time. I have good moods. I got bad moods. On Saturday nights when the safety parlay misses and everything else does well, and fucking people use my recap video as a dumping ground for their emotional baggage, I fucking feed into it. Then the Sunday video comes out and all the love pours in. Love that this is early. Great job. Because the Sunday video gets I don't want to say normal because I'm not trying to. The Sunday video gets the people excited for the fights. And they want to look, place some bets, whatever. The Saturday night video that I post at 1 o'clock in the morning, the people who are waiting to comment instantly are people that are either wildly happy or wildly upset. There's not a lot of in between there. So that's an emotional video. Then Sunday comes around. So I got my peaks and valleys, but my passion is real. If I'm saying it like this, I care about it. We got a $5 super chat. Oh, I already did this. Oh, he super chatted it. All right, I answered the question. I appreciate you. What AI model do you use for the simulator? Simulator's not an AI. The simulator is a fancy calculator. It's not an artificial intelligence. It is a fancy calculator. It's not learning from the data. It's using the data to make decisions. The artificial intelligence is learning from the data. There's a difference. Thank you for the super chat. We'll do that later. $1.99 from the next Lennon. Don't quit on the safety parlay. Screw the haters. We'll talk about that in more detail later. I genuinely want to get people's opinions. Here's the problem with the safety parlay. It's one of many bets. And it's not like Bet Sam has the slam of the week. Bet Sam's slam of the week sometimes is 2 units, 3 units. It's a bet. It's his biggest bet by far, right? It's his most confident and his biggest. The safety parlay is one of many bets and oftentimes an equal bet. So I'm most confident in it, which is why I called it the safety parlay, but it has 1 unit. And last week, for example, I had a 3-leg parlay with also 1 unit. So what ends up happening is the fact that it has the term safety in it, the fact that it does have long-term success, anytime it doesn't miss, the fucking sky is falling, the wheels are falling off, and people are going berserk. And 3 of the last 4 cards or whatever the hell it was, I had plus money positive weeks, but that one single bet lost. And
Jesus
it wasn't
Christ, man. I lose lock of the week all the time, and I don't go on a fucking 15-minute fucking rant about blah, blah. Holy fuck.
The difference is lock of the week is a plus money bet every week. You can hit it at 40%.
I get just as much hate as you.
It's different.
I get 15,000 views for just 1 pick.
I mean, that is true. You're 100%
that is true.
Correct. That's why you can't stop
hate?
doing that. That's why you can't stop. The safety parlay, what I'm concerned about with that stupid-ass safety parlay.
It's a demonetized video. We don't make any money off that.
Off lock of the week, for sure. You don't make $1 off it. It's a free pick, free video. The safety parlay, because the problem is people are like, it's the only bet I tail. So then it's like, why is that the only bet you tailed? I've been doing well consistently week in and week out. What, you're only doing that one?
Yeah, and it's not like you have that bet plus 50 other units. Like, you always have like 5
I'm doing max like 5. Yeah, I'm a normal. So anyway, we'll talk about it later. $1.99 from Lennon again. No way you would let Jacob quit lock of the week. Yeah, we just talked about that. That is different though. It comes with a nice
Oh,
highlight.
trust me, there's been some times where
he almost did.
It's been dark. It's been dark before.
You went radio silent on me on Sunday. I was like, uh-oh. But then you
showed up and
responded to a text, and I was like, all right, he's fine.
Yes.
And $10 from Nick Houseman, looking to move to Austin or by you guys. Any recommendation on areas to live? AD, know anyone looking for a dog trainer? Love you guys. It depends on, are you married? Do you have kids? Like what kind of life you looking for?
Texas sucks.
I love Texas, but I have a family, and I think it's an amazing place to raise a family.
Sucks, man.
All the
It still gets fucking cold. It still snows. And for 4 months in the summer, you can't enjoy outside.
I was outside today. It wasn't that bad. That's actually been a mild summer. Don't jinx us.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's an anomaly. The last 3 summers, there was 4 months you can't go outside. I would walk the dog when the sun has already set at 9:30 and it's fucking 95 degrees outside.
Yeah, I mean, I love it here. I love it here, but I've got a family, and I think it's an amazing place to raise a young family. All those Rogan comedians that moved to Austin for him, apparently they're all just starting to talk about how they hate it. But they left L.A. Like, I get people hate L.A. for political reasons, but you can't beat that fucking weather. 7 degrees, 12 months out of the year. It's crazy.
I thought this would be better than South Florida because South Florida gets so fucking humid, but, I mean, South Florida, it's 70 and sunny for 6 months out of the year, and then it's just...
No, it is 70 and sunny 6 months out of the year.
This late November,
Jesus Christ.
December,
no, dude, no one's
January,
to this lie.
February, early March. 5 months out of the year, it's 75 and sunny every single day. Doesn't rain a drop.
What an absolute no way.
Literally, 75 and sunny every single day.
If you would like to send a weather map, we'll open it and we'll read it. Because for vlog or pay-per-views, we film vlogs. UFC 319 is next weekend, and we will be filming a vlog. You want to send a letter, a weather map, or whatever. We want pics, P.O. Box 406 in Prosper, Texas, 75078. Oh, next one's a breakdown. You have any other pieces to add before we dive in? Couple of fun guys. He has nothing. I'm doing it. I know this move. Opening up the UFC Vegas 109 fight card, we have a brand new addition to this card. This is not a new opponent. This is not a switcheroo. These are two gentlemen who were not on this card, who were not planned to be on this card, who were not on future cards, and they got booked quite literally yesterday to be on this fight card. That is why we have two middleweights fighting at heavyweight or light heavyweight. We got Cody Brundage taking on Eryk McConico on incredibly short notice. Cody Brundage, 11-6 in his career. He is 2-1-2 in his career. That's 2 wins, 1 loss, and 2 no contests. The most recent no contest was with Mansour Abdul Malik, taking on Eryk McConico, 9-3 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5, and that 1 loss was a short notice loss in his UFC debut to Nursultan Ruzaboyev. We all know Cody Brundage by now, right? He comes out, he lets his hands fly, he's got power in his hands, he's got high-level college wrestling, and he absolutely gets after it. That's a Cody Brundage fight. He will get after it, he will get in your face, he will let those hands fly, he will shoot takedowns.
He's not that guy anymore.
And we just learned that he also has patience. He just fought one of the most dangerous opponents that he has fought in a very long time, and instead of balls to the wall, he stayed on the outside. He landed the kicks. He landed the punches. He worked on that distance. It wasn't until the 3rd round that it got a little chaotic. That's when the headbutt happened. They went to the scorecards. They originally judged the fight based off of that 3rd round, which had an illegal headbutt in it. And then after the result, the commission said, you can't score that 3rd round. There was an illegal headbutt, and the round didn't finish. So then it ended up being a no contest. He's taking on Eryk McConico. Eryk McConico, solid grappler. He's pretty comfortable striking, but ultimately he's looking to close the distance, grind fights to the ground. Even though he does want to fight on the ground, he's not going to force it there. He's not going to rush in. He's not going to shoot a million takedowns. He might wait for you to throw a kick and catch it. He might try to push you up against the cage. He can be a little stuck in the mud at times, but for the most part, he is a grappler that will just bomb some heavy strikes. He's coming off that finish loss to Nursultan Ruzaboyev in his short notice UFC debut. And I know Cody has a knack for like these weird outcomes in fights, but it's not his fault that he gets fouled. His last fight's a perfect example. Third round, there's a little exchange. He gets clipped, so he said, like, let me just bite down. I will literally punch my way out of this exchange, and in doing that, a nasty headbutt. He can't control that. Same situation a couple of months ago. Who the hell was it, the last headbutt?
What? I wasn't listening to what you were saying.
Okay. I forget the last headbutt. Same type thing. So I don't know why he gets headbutt so often. I don't know how he ends up with more no contest than most people do with wins. But the reality is he's going to move forward. He has the striking. He has the wrestling. He has the grappling. Eryk McConico is a bit of a jiu-jitsu nerd that just spams power. I do not see Eryk McConico winning this fight. The opening odds are absolutely insane. Plus 170 for Cody. That line has corrected itself. He's now minus 148. I bet on him at minus 114 when he was still technically an underdog. I think Cody gets it done. And I think there are levels in this sport. And despite what some people may think of his recent record and the anomalies, he's still a level above regional fighters. That's where, unfortunately, I do think Eryk sits. Cody's going to be the pick. I don't know what these odds are going to be at close, but even minus 148 is a discount. What do you think, Jacob? And Jacob's bias. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, thanks, Angelo. I'm always honest about my bias, which kind of pisses me off because people always, after the fact, be like, I can't believe you would place that bet. You're obviously biased. You stupid fucks. I say every time, if I know somebody, if I'm friends with somebody, if I'm doing something as a bias play, listen, guys, hey, sit up and listen here, buddy, okay? Me and Cody Brundage are friends. We text, we talk through Instagram. I met him a few times. Eventually, I'm going to go up there and hang out with him. Me and him are friends. What I'm going to say is fucking biased. I put a bet in premium, a bet for personally, it is biased. Don't tail it if you want to. But this, I'm telling you right now, in my opinion, my biased opinion, but I can still look at the fight subjectively. I'll say, yeah, did I have Cody to beat Bo fucking Nickel? You goddamn right I did. Did he almost knock his head off and then threw him across the cage? You goddamn right he did. And when he was fighting Bo Nickel at UFC 303 or UFC 300 last July, whenever it was, this guy Eryk McConico was fighting a 28-22 boxer with no takedown defense, a 38-year-old that he just took down and I think either submitted or TKO. That's the level of competition difference, and that's what kind of separates these guys as fighters. Cody has had ups and downs, but he's beat a lot of people that he should beat, and then, has issues sometimes with other type of fighters, like those top-level fighters. Eryk McConico is just kind of one of those guys that he should beat. He's just a regional guy that got an opportunity versus Nursultan. He has shown, and I'll give him this credit, incredible toughness before the Ruziboyev fight. Ruziboyev hit him with the right hand, really hurt him. If you go watch that Maki Patoli fight, that was a back and forth tight. They were both gassed in that fight, and he toughed that shit out and kept throwing those head kicks, and landed like 3 or 4 against Maki. And that was a great fight because Maki is a former UFC, I don't know if he's a UFC level fighter, but he's an actual, former UFC fighter. So he looked good in that, but Cody should be too fast, not use the takedowns, wait for those kicks to come, land the hands, and when Cody hits people, he fucking hurts people. That's one thing he definitely does do. He's got power, explosive, natural athlete, and I feel good about this fight for him. I'm happy that he got it, and I'm excited for him. Should be a good opportunity. And I think people that even hate Cody, there's a lot of because people always give Cody shit for like you said, stuff's out of his control, but on Twitter, it feels like a lot of people like this fight for Cody, and I think even when your haters are saying, yeah, you probably do win this fight, I mean, he should win this fight.
He absolutely should win this fight. It'll be fun. I don't know if it's the main card opener, but because it is the newest fight added to this card, that's where it's slotted for now. We'll see what it's at light heavyweight, so it is not at lightweight, or it's not at middleweight, so I don't think it's going to be... I
asked Cody what he walks around at. He said he's about 205 right now, so he just shows up and no weight cut at all and just kind of goes out there
and I imagine for either one of them. I'm assuming right. Eryk's in a
I think
similar
Eryk's fought
situation there.
At light heavyweight before, but he's definitely a 185er.
Yeah, and I mean, they're both good-sized dudes, 6 foot, 6 foot. Neither one of them are overly skinny, overly thick. This should be a pretty
And you're
fun
going to see,
fight.
too, that reach, if you go back a slide.
Yeah,
77-inch reach. He doesn't. I mean, he throws a jab out there once in a while, but he's not a guy that's jabbing and boxing your face off. So that reach is a little bit. I don't think it's going to mean anything.
When I broke him down for Ruzaboyev, I was like, he's kind of a jiu-jitsu nerd. And then and that was short notice, as is this. That was his UFC debut. This isn't. And that was on a real card. I don't think that was at the Apex, meaning there was a crowd there. But Eryk was just
You
frozen.
could tell, yeah,
he was frozen.
Yeah,
he did nothing.
And I told Cody that because I was talking to Cody about the fight because he told me about it like I think a day before it got announced or whatever. So I was looking at the Eryk stuff or whatever. And I told him, I was like, yeah, that Ruzaboyev fight, he's going to look different than that fight because you could tell he was tense. It was a big moment. He wasn't really letting stuff go. Like he was just kind of like locked in, like you said, a little bit frozen in there. And I say he'll be a little bit different in this fight. I think Apex, you got the first UFC fight jitters out of the way. So, but he is going to spam fucking 55 head kicks. Eryk is.
Yeah, should be a fun fight. I'm looking forward to it. We've already got some bets on this fight. There's probably more to come once they open some of the other
what
pieces
is with
up.
the background? You made a big deal about how you make the background the card.
This is the official color, green and red. And these are
Christmas
the actual.
green.
These are the actual greens and reds. I throw them in the Photoshop. I do the little dropper thing. That's the background. Because the actual background of the image is solid green. The fighters have the red tint. So I couldn't really translate that. So I used the outline of the boxes here for the red tint. I mean, listen, I spend time. You should see. I'm excited for the 319 graphics. The 319 graphics I've already put together are chef's kiss. Beautiful. Beautiful graphics. If you want to check out every pick, every bet, every tool, not just for this card, but we've got picks, bets, and tools already out for UFC 319 and future cards. Go to the website, wewantpicks.com. Click become a member at the top. It's freaking $10.
I just had a disclaimer to my bet in premium as well. All caps.
I'm
biased. He's my friend.
I mean, I have a bet on him too, and I'm not biased at all. I've said
You hate
horrible things about that guy. So
I told Cody he opened up as an underdog too. He was like, "Oh, okay."
he literally said, they hate me. And he's not wrong. The books hate him. For him to be plus 170 is fucking crazy. I get it's short notice. I get he's got kind of a spotty history with some anomalies, but like, who the fuck's Eryk McConico to be minus 250 in this fight? We move on. Wait. $2 super chat. RIP Scout, not the doggy. I appreciate that. Hold on, look.
Hey guys, what are you guys up to?
I got his paw print. We got his paw print in the mail.
Can't see that.
There it is. Don't
He
you
did
say
that
some
after he's
horrible
dead?
shit. Yeah, don't say some dumb shit, Jacob. Don't do it.
After he dies, they stick his fucking foot in clay,
Yes.
and then they charge you for it, don't they? How much was that? $150?
No, it was a package. Hold on.
Yeah.
It was a package.
Why didn't you get him taxidermy? Is that an option?
Put him on the mantle.
You could have had him in the back. He could have been the mascot.
He it was $400 to do the private cremation, the ashes.
Wait, how much?
$400 for private cremation, so not shared with other people or pets. And then you get the ashes in a box, a nice box, and then you get the paw print.
You didn't.
It was actually
like a
they
backyard burial.
In that moment when I'm doing everything possible not cry my dick off, they could have charged me $1,000. I would be like, okay,
You didn't
whatever it
consider,
is.
like a backyard burial or anything. Something
No.
more
no,
instead of just throwing them into a fire pit. Maybe something a little bit more.
no. I did not. I did not consider
You
backyard
getting
burial.
cremated?
Because then what happens if you ever move?
Dig them up and take them with you. Put them in a nice old box.
He is in a box, dude. When we got the box, and then so we picked it up. This was last week. I cried again. Not bad though, but picked up the box, and I went with my oldest, and she was like, "Is that Scout?" I was like, "That's him." She's like, "How'd they get him in the box?" And I wasn't gonna explain the details. They burned him, so I was just,
Yeah, how
when
about-
you die,
speak of,
when you
yeah.
die, you shrink.
How about your daughter today, jujitsu, because they just happened to be there, and then
They're home from
afterwards,
school.
Yeah, and then afterwards, I go to the oldest. I'm like, "Hey, did you see me beating up your dad?" And she sat there, gave me a look, and said, No, but I saw him beating you up. The fuck? Never happened. Why would she lie like that? Why would you raise liars?
Well, women lie. And then we have a $4.99 super chat from
Imagine crying as a 41-year-old. I agree.
No, dude. All right, this guy doesn't have anything to love in his life. This dude's at Joe Rogan, least funny comedian ever. This is the person criticizing somebody for loving their dog.
Imagine Joe Rogan dies.
Fucking pussy, dude. Well, he thinks Joe Rogan's not funny. So much so that he has dedicated his entire personality to telling the world that Joe Rogan's not funny. But yeah, you're right. I'm the loser for crying over my dog that I had for 14 years.
What do you think the estimate was from birth to death?
That dog cost me $100,000, dude. Is that where you were going with that?
Yeah,
we put a fucking wing on an animal.
I know. Where do you think?
That dog cost me money, man. Fuck. Dude, there was a period of time when we lived in Florida, he kept eating rabbit shit. And apparently the Florida rabbit shit has like reptile piss in it or something because of all the lizards. And he kept getting pancreatitis or diverticulitis or whatever. He kept shitting blood uncontrollably. And he was going to that emergency vet around the corner from where you and I lived every couple of weeks. That dog over the 15 years cost me so much money. Putting him down was the cheapest.
And you still fucking cried.
The cheapest. Yeah. So if I had the choice, I'd prefer he was here instead of not. But my house has never been cleaner or quieter. 14 years. It has never been cleaner or quieter. It's crazy. Because the other dog doesn't shed or bark. It's crazy.
He barks at my dog.
He tries to play. $4.99 from Ale New York. Should ask for money back since I had a single Mansoor TKO.
Yeah,
so
go ask for your money back. Yep. Go see.
It's a no contest.
Film it and let me know how it goes. That's what a lot of people because I obviously had big bets on Cody. Like he was going to pay for because I went to that fight, that Atlanta fight. If he won, which he fucking almost pulled that shit out, it was going to pay for my entire trip. There's no doubt about that. So people, when I tweeted about the no contest, people were like, should I do we get refunds? Do whatever? And I said, yeah, message the books. Tell me I want a refund and let me know what they say. Why don't you film it for me? They're going to laugh their fucking dick off.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere. Thank you for the super chat, Ale. Johnny Castaneda. Pretty sure Johnny Castaneda has dominated the leaderboard at almost every stream he's been on. Angelo takes some shots. Jacob ninja choke.
Honestly, a ninja choke, I could have thrown that in today. I could have switched it.
Jacob, when I was just holding onto your leg to just be nice and like give
and
you
positions,
I kept saying, take my back.
No, you didn't.
Take my
you weren't
back.
Saying if you were saying that in the thing, I didn't hear you.
But I said spin around.
No. I almost submitted you and you got so scared. You're like, next time just take my back because you knew you could defend that. But my front chokes, my arms are too long. You got so scared that I was about to front choke you that you were like, take my back.
No. Literally, I'm holding the leg. He's in front of me. Then I let go of the leg and was only holding the hand.
That was when I had the darts all the way in.
And I kept saying, spin to my back. Spin to my back.
Didn't
you didn't.
I didn't hear
I was literally like, spin to my back. Like,
no,
there's nothing stopping you.
Yeah,
go around.
I was holding on to because you were spin.
Yeah.
Got on my back. Because you didn't want to tap.
Sure. And I debated drinking for this stream, Johnny, but I was like, you know what? I've trained 3 times in a week. I'm on a little bit of a health kick here. Let's see if we can lose a couple of pounds before Noche. Ale New York again. This fucking guy skipped my super chat. No, I didn't. I was just getting there, bud. Thanks for another $1.99.
I forgot because Johnny Castaneda thing. My top fans Saturday that I do need to thank. One was Johnny Castaneda. Donations were out of control from Mr. Johnny. Sam Davis was number 2, and my guy Scuba was number 3. Scuba is back-to-back weeks, top 3.
There we go. Appreciate all of you. $1.99 from Miguel Uexecu. Gentlemen, how are we, Jakey? Angelo, belly gift now.
Yeah, I don't have. This isn't ran through my OBS, unfortunately.
Oh, is this the? Because you do that on the streams.
Yeah, I pop it up all the time. It's like a celebration.
Oh,
or I'll do it
isn't that
randomly. I'll be
interesting?
like, "What do you think, Angelo?" And just randomly pop it up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a fan favorite. I just randomly
Wow.
put it in there, and people love it.
Well, isn't that interesting? You can make that what happens when people do the Connor and stuff things still pop up when people super chat or no?
I think so. The alerts are still all the same.
Yeah, because I set that up in Streamlabs 2 years ago, but it's like on the web.
I always
local.
forget that if you donate $10 or more, it's talk to text. So all
it
of a
just
sudden
says
somebody
stuff?
like all of a sudden because I always see the donation, then there's like a delay for it to go through the talk to text system. So it's like 30 seconds later I hear Jacob, it's like that fucking automated voice where I'll be like, what the fuck?
And then our final super chat here is from Angel Vasquez, 134081. Jake, 5 songs you got in your playlist when you're about to get it on with a lady. Dude, Jesus Christ.
Yes, I think somebody responded. Yeah, Ezekiel responded. Honestly, if you just want, and I've mentioned it before, but I think it's important to bring it up for all the young kids out there. We got kids that just graduated high school, you're getting ready to go to college. Maybe it's move-in week. Maybe college is getting ready to start here. You're probably moving in this weekend or whatever. I got one piece of advice for you. When you go to that first frat party and that girl comes up and you're pouring her beers from the keg and then you take her back to your place, you're going to want 2 things. You're going to want a nice candle, preferably a little bit fruity smelling. You're going to be like, wow, this smells girly, but it's going to make her comfortable. And you're going to want a CD player, a boombox of some sort with an actual CD. Pretty Ricky Blue Stars. You're just going to press play on the first track. And if you're not inside of her and finishing by the fucking track 8, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Pretty Ricky Blue Stars from start to finish is all you need, my friend.
Okay, we need to move on. Speaking of inside, next up at UFC Vegas 109, we have Gabriella Fernandes taking on Julia Stoliarenko. Gabriella Fernandes is 10-3 in her career, 3-2 in her last 5. She's coming off that insane, that massive, that tremendous upset win over Kong Wang. She's taking on Julia Stoliarenko, 11-4 in her career, 2-3 in her last 5. She is alternating wins and losses. This is striker versus grappler. This is as straightforward as you're going to get of a matchup. Gabriella Fernandes is a powerful striker. She is very big. She is strong. She's fast. She's technical. Solid striking. Solid BJJ as well. Her takedown defense is okay, but it's mostly just her being big and strong and not like phenomenal hip work. If she ends up on her back, she's got good jiu-jitsu, but sometimes it works against her, like in the Jasmine Delicious fight, because she's looking for submissions instead of trying to create a scramble and get the hell out of there. You are going to see that she just submitted Kong Wang. That's not quite how that went down. She dropped Kong, had her dead to rights, and then pounced and got the submission. But she outstruck her and outgrappled her. Taking on Julia Stoliarenko, dangerous grappler. She's slick on top. She's slick off her back. The striking is sloppy. She is very hittable. She's got a negative striking differential, but she's willing to brawl. She'll throw heavy kicks. She'll swing at it, but she wants to get you on the ground. If you're on the ground, she's got fantastic control. She's got a great armbar. I called her on my quick pick video the Temu version of Ronda Rousey because she is basically armbar or bust. She's coming off that absolute savage beating loss to Luana Carolina, and it's unfortunate because when Julia beat Molly McCann, and beat the piss out of him, brown belt, Molly McCann, mind you. People were like, whoa, this new weight class is good for her. And then her last couple fights are just a reminder, like, no, it's not. So we have jiu-jitsu or bust and a good striker that also has jiu-jitsu. I'm going good striker who also has jiu-jitsu. Not really affordable at minus 400, but Gabriella should get it done. What do you think, Jacob?
I'm picking Gabriella. She should win this fight. But there's people out there that really are trusting Gabriella.
What did you just
to
yell?
the highest to the highest extent, and I don't really. It feels like there's just better spots because this girl Gabriella does get taken down. She is a little bit loose in her jiu-jitsu, especially off her back. Sometimes she offensive wrestles when, she gets in a little bit of trouble or under pressure. And this girl, Julia, I'm telling you guys, people think that she's terrible. Her striking is terrible. If things start going south, usually it's terrible. But I guarantee there is a point in this fight early on where she gets a takedown and Gabriella is going to have to survive an armbar or a triangle because this girl is fucking high level on the ground. The way she's able to pull some of this stuff off is something that, you know, in my years of going to jiu-jitsu, my jiu-jitsu classes, I see some of these sweeps that she's hitting and I'm like, holy guacamole. I think there's better spots on the card than playing fucking Gabriella at minus 400 when she can't really grapple against a fucking high-level black belt. I think she just got her first stripe or first-degree black belt this year, but she's been a black belt for a while, and her transitions are crazy. Gabriella's going to be in trouble at some point, and everyone's going to be, everyone's going to be panicking a little bit. There's better spots. Why are we betting Gabriella at minus 400?
I agree there's better spots. I think it's the type of thing where if you're on the Julia side, then you get a little bit more juice. You do Julia by sub. That's her only. She's sub or bust. That's it.
I got plus 600.
She's sub or bust. I'm not on that side, and I don't chase bets. Meaning, I'm not a big like, oh, that could happen. Let me just throw $20. What's the difference? I only bet things that I genuinely think will happen, not could happen. So I don't have to bet. But the reality is, not terrible.
I mean, Gabriella took her down 4 times. Teresa Bleda took her down 3 times. Carly Judas, who's not a wrestler, took her down 2 times. And people just see that she got a submission in her last fight. Like you said, it wasn't a submission.
Yeah, she rocked her on the feet.
Julia will fucking school her on the ground. And I think she can get it
Julia's great on the ground. But she's submission or bust, but she is great on the ground.
And so she's going to get it there because she knows she's not a striker. Like, she just comes forward. She wants to just grab you. And she's got good enough body locks with those trips. And that's what people take Gabriella down. I mean, they just grab her, and she just fucking goes to the ground. So,
and I am on the Gabriella side, so I'm not trying to fit my
she's
pick
fucking,
here.
you
let me
did.
make
You
the
are
case.
a racist.
Let me make the case. Why? What'd I do now?
That's
Joselyne Edwards' flag. That's
Yeah.
Joselyne Edwards' flag.
Yeah.
I do all the graphics. I do the graphics. I had the same. This isn't going to help my case. I had it for Smith too. So that's not going to help my case.
For who?
But I fixed. What's his name? Elijah Smith.
Oh.
I kept the Panama flag there too. It's Joselyne Edwards' friggin' flag. Anyway.
It's Panama. It's Panama.
Correct. The other case to be made here is Gabriella does rely on her size quite a bit. Julia's big as shit for this weight class. Like, she's huge for this weight class. So Gabriella won't necessarily have the size to lean on as well. I'm picking Gabriella. I think she wins.
I'm picking Gabriella too. Let's not get fucked up. She absolutely should win this fight, but I just think there's better spots.
It's not a sure thing. If you want to check out some of the flyer bets that Jakey Boy has on this fight, if you want to check out some of the tools, the picks, the breakdowns, everything that we have, it is only $10 for an entire month. Go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. You unlock all of it instantly. $8,800 in DraftKings Fantasy. I mean, I'm going to say hard pass, but the reality is Julia did just get finished, could potentially get finished again. I'm not going to throw it in there, but this is the one female fight in the card that probably goes under 2.5.
You had a little pause there. Did you see the chat where somebody asked where the fucking spaghetti's at?
No. When's
the last time you had spaghetti?
We actually ate Italian. We went out to Italian on Monday or Tuesday, but I didn't. I don't order spaghetti out. I'm sick of it. I ate it my whole fucking life. I'm so sick of it. I don't like going out. I don't like eating Italian food. I am sick of it. I only want my mom's. Honestly, I don't want anybody else's bullshit.
Well,
I want my.
You hate your own kind.
I like my mom's cooking. Everybody else can fuck off. My mom, my aunt. Everybody else can fuck off.
What does she make the best?
My mom's, the favorite meal that my mom makes is she makes a red sauce, but it's quick. She makes it in like 15 minutes, so it's still a little sweet. She puts capers in it. It's like hand-crushed tomatoes.
What's a caper?
I don't know. It's like salty and little and green. I don't know what the fuck it actually is. Like, I don't know if it's a seed of a plant or what, but there's some capers in there. It is, and olives. She's got like olives with pits, but because I don't live anywhere near her anymore, and when I come visit Florida and she makes the pasta, she de-pits everyone with a fucking knife. All of them.
She can
for big age. Okay. And she'll do that over like rigatoni. And then she'll pound out the thinnest cutlets in the world. She'll fry those up, both veal and chicken. and then she does a salad, but there's no dressing. It's olive oil
You just talk
and
quit
lemon.
talking about food.
That meal is my favorite meal. I eat it all together. Because then I core out the end. You get the end of the bread. No, you suck
No,
the
this
guts.
is like my tangent where you just keep going
No.
on until somebody stops you. You're never
You
going to
asked me.
stop.
No, I'm almost done. You cut the end off the bread, not the middle. You suck the guts out.
Who
You
asked this?
shove the chicken in there. You shove any sausage. There's usually sausage. You shove that in there, and then you put the lettuce with the lemon all over the place. Woo!
Someone asked if I've been oil checked yet. Angelo did fucking kick me right in the nuts today with his bullshit X guard.
I elevated your nuts. What is
I went,
that?
and then the sensei was right there and he started laughing.
Sensei. Okay.
What do we call those people? Coach?
Coach. Yeah, we're Americans.
Teach?
Next up, at UFC Vegas 109, we have Uros Medic taking on Gilbert Urbina, and yet another spot with some wild odds. We got Uros Medic, 10-3 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that KO loss to Punahele Soriano.
Someone's
Taking on.
name in here is called Big Back Bodetti.
What an absolute fucking joke. What an absolute fucking joke.
Is that you in high school?
No, I didn't play football.
Oh, you
I
kidding me?
did look. I didn't play.
Oh,
I played
you
lacrosse.
kidding me?
I didn't play.
You're like the guy from fucking Varsity Blues, baby.
That might be who
Miss
that
Davis, you go prom me.
What an absolute
I give
joke.
it 10. A fucking 10.
What an absolute fucking joke, dude. Changes goddamn
A fucking
screen
10.
name. Okay. Anyway, he's taking on Gilbert Urbina, 7-3 in his career. He's 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off of his own KO loss. His was to Charlie Adke. Uros Medic, clean striker. He comes out fast. He comes out loose. He has a 100% finish rate. All 10 of those wins are by finish. He's got killer instinct. If he smells blood, if you look rock, he will laser focus, dial in, and get you out of there. His takedown defense is just okay. It sits at 55%, but it is a bit skewed because Motobek Orobai took him down 7 times in one fight. He is coming off that KO loss to Punahele Soriano, where he was finished in under a minute. He's taking on Gilbert Urbina. Gilbert Urbina is a decent grappler. He's competent on his feet as well. He's got high striking output of almost 6 significant strikes landed per minute. But if you watch his fights, it is clear his striking defense is not very good. He loves moving forward, but he gets hit over and over again. He sets a great place. He's got plenty of cardio. He's coming off his own knockout loss to Charlie Radke. This is striker versus grappler again. We've had a couple of matchups like this on this card, but it's a little tricky when you look at this matchup and you see that Uros Medic, who should win, is almost a 5-1 favorite. This guy was just knocked unconscious. And I get it. Punahele Soriano hits hard. Gilbert Urbina doesn't. But if Gilbert just comes rushing in, protects his chin, and starts grinding and pushing against the cage and dragging the ground, he could have some level of success. I am going to pick Uros here because Gilbert has no striking defense. He gets hit a shit ton, and Uros Medic is a very, very good, very, very powerful striker. So Uros Medic is the pick, but I just hate the odds that we have to live with in today's MMA. What do you think, Jacoby?
Yeah, I'm going with Uros, the Dr. Medic in this fight as well. But again, I just feel like this isn't the spot. I mean, minus 450. He might look like a minus 450 favorite. And tell me if you agree or disagree with this. Obviously, his offensive striking is great. I fully expect him to be fast, strong, powerful, land a shot on Urbina. And if he lands it, he's obviously a finisher. He can do that. That's what should happen in this fight. I'm not even really worried about the takedown attempts from Urbina because Uros, not great takedown defense, but at least he knows what he's doing, has a sense of urgency to get back to his feet. He knows kind of what to do in that situation. What worries me the most is Uros Medic and his defensive striking. This is what, when I watch him, he fights southpaw, but they always say, I'm not a fighter, so I don't know. But they say that if you're a conventional fighter and you try to fight southpaw, the hardest part is your defense. Right? You don't really know defensively. You can still throw a little jab or whatever, but defensively, you don't really know where you're supposed to be or whatever. He fights southpaw. That's how he fights. But he literally, his striking defense is like he's never fought southpaw. Like he just gets hit all the time. And he's getting chinned all the time too off of just stuff a striker at that level should not be getting hit with the stuff that he's getting hit with. It's like his striking defense to me is just I'm not going to pay minus 450 for that chin as much as he gets hit. Urbina doesn't really need a big power. He just needs to land something, and it could hurt this guy. So it's not worth it to me. He should win the fight, but there's a lot on this card where I'm like, this dude's 400, this dude's minus 5. I mean, it's crazy. So he should win. I imagine if you're going to play him, even the TKO is juiced at this point, but play him like a TKO and just live with it.
It is crazy that people aren't learning. They're just laying money, more and more and more money on some of these fighters. And then week after week, we end up with wild underdogs. 2 weeks ago, UFC Abu Dhabi, we had 8 underdogs win. 8 dogs won on that card. 12 fights. And on this card, you posted the graphic. It was what? Every favorite on this card. The most affordable favorite on this card is Joselyne Edwards at minus 280. There's not a single favorite on this card. Actually, now it's Cody. That won't last long either.
And that's literally the best value on the card. It's crazy. Compared to everyone else, that might be the best value. I told Angelo this in the text when it was minus 114. I said, this is like buying Apple in the 80s. The way you can change your life with betting Cody's not an underdog anymore, but I got him as an underdog. So I was like, if getting Cody in this fight as an underdog is like buying fucking Apple in the 80s. Just will change your life.
It's crazy out there, but $8,900 in DraftKings Fantasy. The reality is whoever wins this fight likely wins by finish. And Uros Medic is a finisher. Gilbert Urbina can be finished. Sometimes it is as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. So if you want to throw Uros Medic in your DraftKings Fantasy lineup, you might be okay. He should be able to find a finish here. But if you want to check out what our DraftKings Optimizer says, what the Fight Simulator says, what the Artificial Intelligence says that just went 11-1 last week, you can get all of it right now. One package, $10. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Instantly unlock all of it.
He's Serbian, right?
I don't know what that flag is. I copy-paste the flags. This guy says, Angela, what's your mom's first name? If you know anything about Italians, you can get this in 2 guesses.
Yeah, he's from Serbia. Doesn't it seem like a country that would have more fighters? Doesn't it? You feel like Serbia would be like fucking some hardcore
hard living. Is it small? Isn't it?
And he's not even country? He doesn't even fight like a hard, rugged dude. He's like kind of a clean kickboxer. But you think like Serbia is like.
This guy said Marie. Marie is not an Italian name. That's like a middle name.
Maria,
it's Maria.
Maria.
There it is. This guy gets it first guess.
You remind me of a West Side Story.
Okay, we're moving on.
Growing up in Spanish Harlem.
I need to click this button.
Living a life just like a movie star.
And there we go. Next up at UFC Vegas 109, we have Panama's own Joselyne Edwards taking on Priscila Cachoeira. Joselyne Edwards 15-6 in her career, 3-2 in her last 5. She is riding a 2-fight win streak, taking on Priscila Cachoeira, 13-6 in her career, 3-2 in her last 5. She's coming off that bounce back win over Joselyne Nunes. I'm a Joselyne guy. I have picked her in most of her fights. I have enjoyed her as an underdog more than one time. I think Joselyne Edwards is a pretty good fighter, and she is a pretty good fighter. She's a good striker. She's got a nice wide variety of strikes. She uses kicks really well. She throws jabs out there. She throws in combinations. She works your body. If she gets inside, you can make it a little bit of an ugly fight. If you get past the guard, you get past the kicks, you can stay in her face. But the reality is, the knock on her has always been her takedown defense. And not only has she somewhat corrected that, she's added offensive takedowns as well. She's coming off that finish win over giant-ass Chelsea Chandler, where the striking and the grappling looked fantastic. Priscila Cachoeira, on the other side of that cage, powerful striker, heavy pressure, throws big punches. She's got real power for this division. She is kind of finished or bust. But the reality is she's just going to move forward, swing away, get in your face, and not going to have really much technique about it. She's basically Jessica Andrade. She's relying on pressure and power. She's relying on bully techniques to get the fight done. Priscila Cachoeira is the zombie girl for a reason. She's coming off that knockout win over Joselyne Nunes, where she was bombing 1-2s before landing a beautiful uppercut. This is another fight. The odds seem a little bit wide. I am on the Joselyne Edwards side. She's somebody, as I mentioned, that I have picked and bet on in the past. My one and only concern here, Joselyne's the better striker. Joselyne does have offensive wrestling. Priscila has some wrestling holes. Joselyne's a good fighter. through and through. My one and only concern is Priscila might just literally get in her face, not give a shit. And if Joselyne's trying to be technical, trying to stay on the outside and can't because Priscilla's in her face, this fight could be weird. I mean, it could get technique out the window, dirty pressure weird. I'm picking Joselyne Edwards. Priscila Cachoeira is a real pain in my ass here. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I actually like Joselyne here. I've been trying to figure out how I want to better what the play is because Priscila, everyone knows, she just sits on a right hand. That's all she got, just a right hand. She doesn't come with crazy pressure, with crazy volume. She just stalks you and cocks that right hand. She's either going to fucking throw it up the middle or just bomb a right hand over. I do worry a little bit because Joselyne has kind of gotten like a little bit of a mean streak to her. I know that Vidal fight there was like some actual beef between the two of them, but the way she fought that fight, the way she fought that Chandler fight and stuff, when there's like a brawl's happening, like she will sit down and brawl, and Priscilla's the one person. It's like, just don't give her the chance. Like, don't, just like Mackenzie Dern, like, don't go to the ground with her. Like, that's her best chance to win the fight. Can she maybe win it some other ways? Yeah. But her best way to win the fight is if you just let her land that right hand. So stay on the outside, wait for her to get frustrated and throw it. Level change. Joselyne's got really nice level chains. And if she gets on top of this girl, I know Joselyne in the past has had issues staying on top of girls, losing positions, lost that fight versus Nora because she couldn't keep the positions. Against Priscila, she's going to be able to keep the position. So if she just gets the takedowns, gets the control, she can definitely dominate this fight, 30-27. She's zombie girl for a reason. I don't know if she's going to be able to find a finish, Joselyne that is, but she has every right to dominate this fight. Just stay away from the big right hand, and everything else should be gravy. And on a card like this, like, I trust Joselyne more than I trust like Uros.
I would trust. She's the more well-rounded of the two, for sure. And Uros is not more well-rounded than his opponent.
Because Joselyne, even if she gets hit, she's shown that she's a durable girl as well. So it's like, I'll tell you what, if Priscila fought Uros, I would pick Priscila, I think. She would land that right hand and knock him clean out.
That uppercut in her last fight was beautiful.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
It was a 5'4" Josie Nunez who was just running forward like this.
I get it, but it was nice. So this should be a fun fight. I expect them to absolutely get after it. We could have a weird card where the two women fights both go under. Joselyne Edwards, though, at $8,600, it's right there. It's a very tricky price point because if she does wrestle, which she can, she should, and she has wrestled more in her last 3 fights than she has in her entire career leading up to that, then she could score a ton of points here, especially if she somehow finds a finish. But if you want to check out every pick, every bet, every tool, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. It is only $10 for an entire month, and you will instantly have access to every single thing the website has to offer.
By the way, I mentioned it before the last, I think, the fight, the last couple fights, that Joselyne was fucking hot. And that was when she had like the blown out blue hair and stuff like that. You couldn't really see it. And all of a sudden she showed up with braids, and I'm like, I told you guys. I fucking told you guys.
She locked it in. $5 super chat from Ricky Mad. Angelo, how fast can you beat up the self-proclaimed the king of underdog picks, lucrative James? Betting line, Angelo, my 50, James plus 400.
Got submitted by me today, so.
Yeah, so it's not looking great. King of underdogs, I think Jacob has proven that it is quite literally him week in and week out. Not only picks a dog.
He definitely bets more of them, so he hits more of them.
But it's not the same thing. Betting, spamming underdogs and then hitting them because you're spamming dogs all the time is very different than putting your stamp on one every single week.
Angelo hates lucrative because he big dogged him, guys. Angelo walked up to him and said, "Do you know who I am?" And he's like, "No."
I didn't say, "Do you know who I am?" That's not how the exchange went. And either way, fuck that dork. I've decided Euro trash. I'm too good for Euro trash at this point in my life.
By the way,
I'm from too many immigrants in my family. I love them. They're not Euro trash, and then we get action. Not for me.
You hate non-whites.
This kid's white as fuck. He's as white as you are.
Talking about, I don't like. First,
Euro
like
trash is white. Euro trash is white.
People. Then you didn't like my Hispanic brothers, and now you're getting rid of all of Europe. There's nothing left but you and the other whites.
Eurotrash is white.
Yeah, I know. And you even got rid of them. That's how crazy it is. That's how locked in you are on just American Christian whites.
You know, did you know that my wife didn't know I was a white person? When we first got together, we were like talking to somebody, and I forget how it came up, but she's like, Angelo's not white. And I was like, what? What do you mean?
I've heard that my whole life.
She's like, Italians aren't white. I was like, Italians aren't white. What box do you think I checked when I applied for college? And then that's when she didn't have an answer. That's when it really clicked for her. So good for her, honestly.
She said that Jacob went to a black school or definitely hung around a lot of black people. You had a buzz cut in high school, I can tell. See, they know it's in me.
Yeah, show one of those high school pictures. Those are the best.
I didn't have any black friends. I went to my high school was out in the fucking country in Indiana. But I'll tell you what, the program I
wish
watched,
I did.
the program I watched the most as a kid growing up in the late 90s, early like the formidable years. It's fucking BET, man. I fucking love BET. I watched the shit out of BET, man.
I bet you did.
106 in Park was the fuck.
I bet you did. Well, Ricky, thank you for the super chat. I actually don't know the dude from a hole in the wall, so I'm just fucking around.
And HBO.
Jacob
HBO
is the king of underdog locks.
Used to have fucking just random like black comedians and like just fucking like on loop all the time, like at night, Saturday nights and stuff. I was obsessed with fucking black comedians.
I mean, the best stand-up comedians of all time are Eddie Murphy.
You can't get
Chris
them
Rock.
You can't get them back now. It's too late, Angelo. You can't get them back now. We always have the. By the way, can we get a little poll?
Yeah,
in the
Jacob
chat?
and I do.
Who's
You
funny?
put up the poll. Put up an actual poll.
I can't. They won't like me as a mod. I don't know why. I can do.
You
I can
do it
switch
during your
accounts.
streams.
Yeah, because okay. Let me switch accounts here, guys. We'll put up a poll. We're gonna put up a poll. Please vote for the poll. By the way, like the video if you haven't already. That's what really helps the videos out. And Angelo's too fucking retarded to ask for likes. So just ask for likes.
Focus on my call to action to go to the website.
All right, poll's going up. You are going to vote on who you think is funnier. Who is funnier? Is that a fine way to describe it?
That's always a debate. I mean, is it?
Because I don't want. I didn't want to know if you want to just do stand up or just focus on
Well, just
this.
stand up. It's not even close, and we're not going to indicate who picked who.
Right. So who is funnier? We're going to vote in a poll right now. I just put it up.
It's not between us. Joe Mama said Angelo's definitely funnier. It's not between us,
It's not
unfortunately.
between us. It's between two prominent African Americans and Mark.
And Mark,
You guys are African American and
young,
Mark.
yeah, and Mark fucks with us, so we fuck with Mark. All right, let's go.
All right, 86% of the people in here are fucking idiots, man.
There we go.
No,
I'm
it's
winning.
not stand up only. It's whole body of work, guys.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Listen, here's a tool pitch very quickly. If you look at the screen here, you got 3 pictures. The top left is Carol Hosa and how many significant strikes she landed in that fight. The number is 33 last week. The bottom is how many strikes her Prize Picks line was, and it was 69. I went to live on video in the Prize Pick video, which is on our other channel. I went to our tool, the fight simulator. I ran the simulation, and then I looked at Carol Hosa. I looked at the significant strikes, and the simulator said she's going to land like 40 something. And then I looked at the Prize Picks line. It said 69. This said 40. This said 69. I said, we're going to do the under. And so we did the under. I put the under in the Prize Picks. I told everybody to put the under in their Prize Picks and their underdog fantasy entries. Then we got a full 15-minute fight. We got a lot of aggression out of them. They went after it, and she still got nowhere near that number. This is how you use the tools, and this is why tools matter. This is why tools matter. You click some buttons, you interpret the data, and then you make decisions like an adult with data and information that was given to you. Unlock the fight simulator now. You can do this exact same thing. Run the simulations, go through each fighter, look at their lines, look at the lines on Prize Picks, and make some decisions with your own brain. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Next up.
Can I say too, real
We've been
quick?
saying a lot of shit.
This will be the last tangent, but I need to say it. I forgot to bring it up last time.
Sure.
Only because D's in the chat, and we were just talking to D and stuff like that. So every once in a while, I follow D on Twitter, and every once in a while, I'll see him interacting with some. I mean, they are hot women, right? But it's not really an interaction. It's just him tweeting at these hot women. So it was giving shit. I was giving shit that he just horned up on Twitter or whatever. So I'll tweet it. Like, I'll either like it or I'll send it to him. I'll reply. Like, because it shows up on my For You page. And I'll be like, I see this, D. And he's always like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not what you think, whatever. So I saw one like last week or 2 weeks ago. He's wishing this girl happy birthday. And I was like, oh, I see you, D. So then he DMs me. He's like, I tell everyone happy birthday. I'm like, tell it to the judge. He said, oh, I just looked at her page. I never looked at it. I said, horny police got your ass again. And then he said, definitely not horny. I only pay attention to this, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, got your ass again, like really digging in, like I got your ass. So then he takes like this sensitive turn. He's like, that's just you. Just like if anybody posts they lost a loved one or need prayers for a family member, I always comment, praying for you and your family. And he sent a screenshot of him saying prayers to everyone. He's like, costs nothing to show love. And I was like, oh, man. Like, you're right. Like, I'm trying to make this guy feel bad just for interacting. It felt bad. So I was like, I'm just messing, man. You're good people. Like, you're good people. I'm just messing around, man. That's what he sends me.
Gotcha, bitch.
And I said, what the fuck? No, he got my ass. And then he said, you good people, man, like with like a laughing thing. And he said, thank you. And I said, get the fuck away from me, bitch. He got my ass.
He did get you. He did indeed get you. Next up, at UFC Vegas 109, we have Elijah Smith taking on Toshiomi Kazama. Elijah Smith, 8-1 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5. He's coming off that win in his UFC debut. He's taking on Toshiomi Kazama, 11-4 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off of a bounce-back win 8 months ago. Elijah Smith is the second ever son in a father-son duo in the UFC. His father fought in the UFC, and that is only the second time that has ever happened. He's a good grappler. He's got decent striking. His hands are fast. He has solid power. Takedowns are also very fast. He does a good job covering the distance, closing that gap. If he ends up on top, he's got great control. Even if somebody works up, he's got a shot right behind. He's got good cardio, good power. And he's a very real prospect. He's coming off that win in his UFC debut over Vince Morales. And he's taking on Toshiomi Kazama. This guy's a good grappler on his as well. He's lets his hands go on the feet. His takedown defense can use a little bit of work, but even when he is taken down, he creates scrambles. He starts working BJJ. He is a grapple-first fighter. He can be a bit chinny on the feet. He's coming off that submission win over Shalampos Grigoriou, where even though he won the fight, the takeaway was, this guy stinks and he is a BJJ nerd. The reality is, Elijah Smith already passed his UFC test. His fight against Vince Morales was a good fight. Vince Morales is a good fighter. So to beat Vince Morales and then go backwards and fight Toshiomi Kazama, this is an easy win. Elijah Smith wins this fight. Very straightforward. I think he can out-grapple. I think he can out-strike. I think he's the better wrestler. I think he's better literally everywhere. Elijah Smith is the pick. What the hell are you laughing at?
I put a poll up, and it's pretty funny seeing it go back and forth. I don't know if you can see the poll or not.
I can't.
Just go ahead and you might want to take a look at that.
Why don't you go ahead and do your breakdown? I'll take a look at the poll.
Take a look at the poll.
How much does Angelo weigh? All right, I'm going to vote. I mean, the range is, the answer is so obvious here. And what are the results?
When I immediately put it up, I watched it bouncing back and forth between 250 and 300, which is reasonable. And then the 376 plus, like this fucking, like, which one was more?
Yeah, 250 to 300. That's your range, people.
It felt heavier than that. I felt it today.
I was told by an autistic guy on Sunday's open mat that I'm not heavy.
I felt,
and I don't use
today,
my weight
guys.
well, and I can't get it out of my head.
I felt it today. You used it just fine today. I'll tell you that. First person to ever fucking tap to fucking just sitting on your chest. That was me today. Yeah. I don't really know how Elijah loses this fight. Obviously, there's a puncher's chance with anyone, but when you have some of these fighters that are minus 500 or minus 600, and then you have Elijah at minus 700, I think he is just 10 times as safe as pretty much anybody else on this card. Like you mentioned, that last fight, I said that fight could be close. I was a little bit high on Vince Morales going to that fight because I knew his scrambling ability. And you saw Elijah get caught up in a few instances where it's like, uh-oh. It just shouldn't happen. There should be a step down in competition versus a guy, Kazama, who's probably going to come forward and get knocked out. Elijah's got good hands, slick hands. He's got to improve his striking defense, but it shouldn't really matter in this fight. He's not really – he'll progress and do it the right way because he came from the wrestling background and stuff. But his boxing is good. His striking is good. He's got good power. And then he can always go to that wrestling. And that wrestling is going to be better than a lot of people in this division. So he should be a safe play here. And I don't want to jinx it, but there's no way he should lose this fight.
I agree. I mean, we've been seeing the biggest favorite on multiple cards this year, more than any other card in a sports betting recorded time. Have we had more of the biggest favorite lose? Elijah Smith, I believe, is the biggest favorite on this card. This isn't the card for that. He's going to win this fight.
Is that
he should be able to get
on
it done.
His trap?
It is. I was looking. I was like, ooh, South Korea fighting a Korean. But no, he's not. He's fighting a Japanese man. Elijah Smith should absolutely get it done. $9,300 in DraftKings Fantasy. Seems like a no-brainer because he can get the takedowns. He can find a finish on the feet or on the ground. Elijah Smith is
going to... under. Yeah, somebody said the under. I like the under.
Is going to be the pick. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. You'll unlock every pick, every bet, every tool instantly on the website for an entire month. UFC 319 is next week. Unlock this week. Have full access for next week and the 2 events after that as well. WeWantPicks.com. We have more than just picks and bets and DraftKings. We have FanDuel as well. Joel said, your FanDuel shit is very good, Angelo. I won last week because of it. And the FanDuel stuff, not only has it always been there just kind of hiding on the side, we have now fully built it into the fight simulator and the optimizer. You can use both of those tools to build FanDuel lineups. Next up, at UFC Vegas 109, we have the featured prelim of the evening. We have Julius Walker taking on Raffael Cerqueira. Julius Walker 6-1 in his career. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that short notice loss in his UFC debut. Taking on Raffael Cerqueira, 11-2 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He is also looking for his first UFC win. Julius Walker's a decent dude early in his career. He's probably not quite ready for the UFC. But he got here because he stepped up on short notice. And now you're kind of stuck here, if that makes any sense. He is only 6-1. He has only been a professional fighter for about 2 years. His inexperience can show at times. He'll end up in some bad positions. He's forced to rely on his athleticism to get him through. He's definitely flashy. He's got some power. There are some holes in the takedown defense, but he's defensively sound enough to avoid some easy submissions. He's got solid offensive BJJ. He's pretty capable of finding something in a scramble. He's coming off that fun back-and-forth fight with Alonzo Menafield in his UFC debut. He's taking on Raffael Cerqueira. This guy's a patient guy. He fights pretty loose. He's pretty fluid. He's not really in a hurry. He doesn't chase finishes. He doesn't even seem to throw with intent half the time. But he is very dangerous. He's athletic enough to be creative on the feet, and he's good enough on the ground to hang there as well. He's pretty big at 6'4". He uses that size to move forward, get you on your back foot. And despite having 10 finishes in his career, his striking seems a little uncomfortable. He turns his head. He flinches a little bit. He's coming off that knockout loss to Modestas Bukauskas. Listen, Julius should win this fight. But Julius also just lost to a 40-year-old man. In a fight that he was younger, he was faster. He should have won that fight. But okay, Alonzo Menafield's a big guy, a powerful guy, an experienced guy. The reality is Julius Walker should win. And not because he's some crazy prospect, but because Raffael just hasn't seemed to be able to put it together. He's smoking regional guys. He gets to the UFC level, can't really find that same success. But the people who have beat Raffael, I also think beat Julius. So I'm going to pick Julius here because what I don't like is quite literally how Raffael turns his head and flinches in some of those striking exchanges. So Julius is going to be the pick. You're not going to see a bet from me on Julius. There's just too much going against him.
I'll fucking do it.
Jacob will do it. Why don't you go ahead and tell him why?
I'll fucking do it because this guy, Raffael, like you mentioned, his striking defense just isn't there. I will say, he can throw a nice little 1-2. So if he sits down on a nice 1-2, he landed one on Modestus that was like, oh shit, that was fucking fast. And if he lands on Julius, we'll see what happens, because after 2 fights where you're kind of getting the shit beat out of you in both fights, he might come out and just risk it for the biscuit. And if he lands a big shot, it seems like he's got the power to put out anybody. But his striking defense is bad. It's a lot of straight line back, chin up in the air. I fully expect to be a finish early in this fight. Julius can probably come in, push him backwards, lay on the volume, or typically he's a grappler. He'll grab a hold of him, put him on the ground, either TKO him or try to find a submission in that right. But those entries, if he's sloppy with those entries, Raffael could just sit on a right hand. But it is crazy that this guy isn't coming off like a crazy UFC debut. I mean, it was a sloppy fight that it was sloppy on both ends. He couldn't really get anything going in that fight. Obviously, he showed durability and toughness, but to warrant a minus 600 price tag, you know, if you're betting it because of 2 ways, not just because of Julius. You're obviously betting against Raffael, which I get. I did it, and we'll see how it plays out. Julius is my pick.
Yeah, I've gotten some DMs. I mentioned this in my quick pick video, but I got some DMs this week saying, why are fight odds so crazy lately? It is the parlays. That's why. If you're a sports book, if you're DraftKings Fantasy and you have somebody like Julius Walker, traditionally, before sports betting was as popular as it is now, you throw out your line, maybe you get a couple thousand bets, and you're good. You pay the winners, you take from the losers, you're good. But now that everybody is parlaying the absolute fuck out of everything, and everybody's looking for $20,000 payouts, and everybody's doing Julius Walker in 30 different parlays, of course, when that parlay breaks, they get to keep your money. But they're only getting $5 when the parlay breaks. If the parlay hits, they're paying out tens of thousands or thousands of dollars. So Julius Walker, a fighter who historically would have a couple thousand bets on him, now, because everybody's doing 11, 12, 15 leg parlays, now he's in hundreds of thousands of different parlays. So they need to account for that, and these odds are crazy. Obviously, they set the initial lines, then people bet money, and then computers move the lines after that. But these things are programmed to assess risk. And that's why you get odds minus 600 on one side and then plus 425 on the other.
Lock of the week is so important, to find that one dog that's going to win.
I agree with you. That's why people love it, right? People want plus money. They want to chase dogs. But where's the money in between minus 600 and plus 425? Those don't line up. That's not a 20% margin for the book. That's a giant margin, and they're keeping all of it. Some of these fights are outrageous, but it is quite literally the long tail parlays that are doing it to this space. We still find our spots. I've been up 5 or 4 of the last 5 cards. The safety parlay is the only thing that was the difference between winning and losing on the Abu Dhabi card. But the reality is there are spots to be had. I personally don't know if Julius Walker is going to be one of them. Jacob has a bet there. If you want to check out every single one of our picks, our bets, and our tools, go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member.
I like him over Uros or Gabriella.
Because his opponent sucks. I think Raffael is worse than Gilbert Urbina.
I think he's worse than Julius Stoliarenko too. At least she's got a viable path to victory, get a takedown, and she's got an advantage on the ground. Yeah.
No, I don't. Like you said, you're betting against Raffael, not for Julius. Julius hasn't won a fight yet at this level.
It's half and half. He showed he was tough.
He showed he's tough, but all Raffael's wins and finishes are against regional bums. And we don't know yet.
Everyone's wins and finishes are against regional bums until they get out of the regionals, Angelo, you fucking idiot.
And neither one of them
how the fuck is he supposed to have wins not in the regionals when he just got out of the regional scene?
How many of these motherfuckers get to the UFC, get 0 wins whatsoever, and get cut? You fuckstick weasel.
Yeah, but you literally said all his wins are, no.
Meaning he hasn't proven himself at this level.
He hasn't gotten the opportunity.
You shit knife. He's quite literally had 2 opportunities.
Shit knife? You have a shit knife?
No, I've been
Did you buy
on
one?
that. No, did we even figure out the mechanics of that thing?
What was that from?
I think you sent it, or Josh the web guy.
Oh
sent it.
No, it was that wild TikTok. Like, this is our poop knife.
Yeah,
this is our whatever. Like a weird fucking. You're like, is this real or not? Like, this is. We share this rag to wipe. We don't use toilet paper. You just dunk it in this vinegar water or something. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
It's disgusting. Yeah, I hear you. Listen, we got a question here. The question is, what's the safety parlay for this week? Before I address the safety parlay, let's take a look at my last 5 cards.
I'll give you a fucking safety parlay right now. Ready?
Okay, let's hear it. We're ready.
First leg, Cody Brundage. Second leg, Gene Matsumoto.
I picked against Gene, so I'm going to disagree with
That's
That's why you can't hit a safety parlay, you fucking idiot. Yeah.
Minus 160, minus 300. That would be
plus 110. I did it already.
Plus 117, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, I'm the idiot. Okay.
Why? You literally are wrong.
I by this much. To do it as quickly as I did, by this much. Here's my last 5 cards. I've been doing quite well. Last week, up a good amount of money. I only lost 1 real bet, safety parlay. 2 weeks ago, up a good amount of money. I only lost 1 real bet.
How are
safety
we
parlay.
always talking about you and what's going on? What the hell is going on?
I'm taking a poll. I'm debating killing the safety parlay. There's a full tracker on the website. Let me get this off the screen. There's a full tracker on the website that shows every safety parlay and every lock of the week ever placed. And it has long-term success. You've heard me say this is the beacon of stability. That didn't come out of nowhere. I didn't just make that shit up. 2022, 11.87 units. This is one bet. One bet. 11.87 units. 23, 9.67 units. 24, 3.59.
Lock of the week is up like 45 units.
That's plus money. Correct. Now, the question becomes, do I just stop naming the shit? Do I just stop naming the shit?
I can't believe you're making this. You have slides and everything because you lost a few safety parlays.
And everybody's
losing all the time, not making a big deal. We just fucking bounce back. You don't sit there and fucking cry about it. You just tell the people, suck it up. We got it this week, man.
I can't handle it. I can't handle it. When I'm up money, this is what kills me. And I'm sure you experience with the lock of the week. We're just built different. When I am up money, and I have been quietly behind the scenes crushing this shit, quite literally one of the best on planet Earth. I see Twitter. I see where people are going. I see everybody's fucking bets in the whole week in and week out. And here I am making money slow and steady, week in, week out. But the safety parlay misses. So it's like, you fucking wait. And it drives me nuts.
It literally is like
I'm winning money.
It literally is probably like 15 to 25 comments in totality.
But in my head, it's 10,000.
You don't have 15,000 people showing up waiting for you to post your next video to be like, fade of the week, loss of the week, not fade Jacob, lock. I mean, that's all and that's hundreds of comments. And you should see the messages I get.
Listen. So I said we're built
different. And I'm losing all the time. It's not a small little streak. I pick big dogs. They're always losing. I had a plus 500 fucking underdog where his opponent missed weight advantage after I made the pick. Nothing I can do about that. That went into the fight, won the first round, lost the second round, had himself a chance to win the fight versus a guy that purposely missed weight and cheated. He said, I don't follow the rules. I didn't want to cut weight, so I didn't do it. So he had the stamina in the third round. I can't fucking predict any of that bullshit. Plus 500, still won a round. If you played the plus 3.5, you won the fucking bet. And people were like, wow, you're a fucking retard, Jacob. Nice pick. On a card where only 2 dogs won. Chris Duncan and who the fuck else?
Neil Magny.
And people were like, nice fucking pick, idiot. I make the pick on a Tuesday. The guy's missing weight on a Friday. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Nice pick, idiot. Well, I'm seriously debating. The name is the issue. The name is the issue because I named it something fancy. I named it something fancy, and it's causing stress.
Yeah, the name is the issue. Mine's called Lock of the fucking Week. People still.
It is funny to see people like, not understand.
Bro, Felipe Munez is a lock. Hardly. Yeah. No fucking shit. Hardly.
Listen, I get it.
Plus 500's a lock? I don't think so.
It is funny to see people not understand the concept of it or the irony of it, I guess. Especially because you explain it. Every week, in my mind, with 100%. We have a $5 super chat from leaderboard Johnny Castaneda. Both of you have made me so much money. Thank you for your service, Johnny. We appreciate you.
It's been crazy. I think he donated like $200 Saturday. I'm not even joking.
I mean,
it's crazy.
It is crazy. We appreciate it.
Nobody's touching him.
Hopefully, it's money that you've made from watching the boys. We appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Now, for those of you who don't support just yet, not only can you support us, but you'll get something in return.
There's no way this
with
is
premium membership. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. You'll get the Fight Simulator. It simulates fights 100,000 times. You get the Tape Index. For those of you who like to do your own research, watch the tapes, the fights with your own eyes. The Tape Index lines those up for you, ready to go. You can get the Optimizer. Not only does it build DraftKings fantasy lineups, but FanDuel fantasy lineups as well. And here's the 4 cards you'll unlock all of that for. You get UFC Vegas 109, UFC 319, UFC Shanghai, and UFC Paris. Here is the address if you want to send something for the vlog. Next weekend is UFC 319. I will be filming a vlog. We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406.
By the way, I love how people will be like, wow, this thing is so long because Jacob always interrupts Angelo. Like, I don't sit here for 45 minutes while he just talks about nonsense. I have to interrupt or nothing gets done.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Hey, we opened this couple of fun guys. Here is the toll-free number if you want to leave it. I got a message.
Right now. Call in right now and tell them to shut the fuck up.
We got a message earlier. It's a joke, but it's too inappropriate for me to play on here. I laughed at the joke. You didn't leave your name, but I laughed at the joke.
Was it racist?
It was a
was
phobic.
It racist?
It was a phobic. Yeah. And Jacob and I will be at Noche. We're about 1 month removed, 5 weeks removed. We'll be there. That's it. It's wrapped. 1, 2. Next up, at UFC Vegas 109.
Angelo, are you flexible enough to get Jake in the buggy choke? Angelo couldn't even keep a knee shield from X-Guard. His belly was in the way. True or false?
First of all,
keep a knee shield and X-Guard.
It's not because my belly was in the way. Are you in fucking mind?
Oh, yeah. I'm not flexible enough.
My brain just wasn't like, roll this direction and then bring your knee up. I am shockingly, insanely flexible for a dude my size. It's quite the turn on. Opening up the UFC Vegas 109 main card, we have Eryk Anders taking on Christian Leroy Duncan. Eryk Anders is 17-8 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that win over Christopher Weidman, taking on CLD, 11 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that decision win over Andrei Pulayev. Eryk Anders has a Y in his name, like a psychopath. He also fights like a psychopath. This is just a big, athletic dude with heavy hands, good wrestling, who moves forward, gets in your face, and make things ugly. Eryk Anders is not usually the more well-rounded fighter in a fight, but he is definitely the tougher. He's the grittier, and he's usually the more athletic. He has competed at a high level in multiple sports. He keeps his hands a little lower than you like.
Where did he go to college?
OH.
Bama. Roll Tide.
I was close. I knew it was a big school, and I tried to get fancy with the OH.
Bama's about the biggest.
Did he win a national championship? I think I've asked that question in the past.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, they fucking basically won it every year for about 20 years. So.
He's a big, athletic dude who fights like a man. The skills aren't quite there, but everything else is. He's also been pretty open about his substance issues in the past and how he's clean now, and he has since gotten that win over Chris Weidman, where he broke Chris Weidman down. He's taking on Christian Leroy Duncan, a high-pressure fighter. He has 9 finishes in his 10 wins or 11 wins now. There was a decision in that last fight. He's a powerful striker. He comes forward with pressure. He's got speed. He's got creativity. He throws everything at his opponents. But if things get heated on the way back, he'll turn into a wrestler. Lately, he's been wrestling a little more than usual. We saw that in his last fight, the decision win over Andrei Pulayev, where the game plan wasn't great. He was the better striker in that matchup, but decided to wrestle instead. And this is another interesting fight because we have a decent favorite here in minus 550. We have a big, strong, athletic Eryk Anders. I am going to pick CLD. It's not insane that Eryk Anders moves forward with heavy club hands, starts landing, and then shoots takedowns. The reason I'm going to lean CLD, though, is because Eryk Anders has been dropped in his last 3 fights. Leroy Duncan does hit pretty hard, and as long as he doesn't come in with some dumbass game plan like he did in his last fight, he'll be fine. But if he's going to try to out-wrestle Eryk, he's just going to get bullied. Eryk's going to drag him to the ground and beat on him. Leroy Duncan is the pick. Eryk Anders might be a sneaky dog. What do you think, Jacob?
Can you do something for me? Just no questions asked. I'm just going to ask you to do something. Just scoot your chair back just a little bit and then just stand up naturally. Just stand up naturally. That's not natural. You're not being natural. Just be natural.
What?
D said, how many times does Angelo pull his shirt down a day? Over under 7.5.
Like
and I was
that?
waiting for you stood up and then you couldn't resist. You had to pull it down.
Yeah, when you got a little bit of a dad bod, you pull the shirt off your stomach. D, you fucking asshole.
That's I think you should leave skit. They make a shirt with like a little knob right here for fat dudes. So they can just pull it because they're always like pulling on the shirt like this. So it's like a knob they can pull. It's actually pretty funny. CLD minus 600, minus 550, whatever he is, I'm playing it. He should win. He's a better fighter. He's got the dynamic kicks. He's improved the takedown defense. Obviously, I'm well aware that every CLD fight, you don't know who the fuck is going to show up. You don't know if this guy's going to show up like a killer. You don't know if this guy's going to show up and decide he wants to wrestle. If he's going to stay on the outside and just do spinning fucking wheel kicks for 15 minutes. You have no idea in a CLD fight what CLD you're going to get. But even at his worst, I think at that point, it's a close fight. Like, even if he comes in and he's just kind of grappling and doing cage control and acting like a real fucking asshole, I think he could still pull that out. And at his best, he should look minus 600. So I got to go CLD here. You know, Eryk Anders is just kind of the older school of UFC. CLD definitely fights kind of that newer, rangier, good at everything type of thing. And Eryk Anders just kind of been beating up on people that really aren't at CLD's level or shouldn't be. So nothing against Eryk. Seems like a great guy, but I'm going CLD here.
CLD is definitely the more individually skilled fighter. Eryk's just a good old-fashioned American bully, and maybe he bullies his way to a win. It should be an interesting fight. I said, you worded it as, we don't know what the hell version of Christian we're going to get. I basically said, I think he's making grilled cheeses at night with the game plans that he's putting together, which is they have not been very good. I don't know why you're wrestling when you don't.
Insane. I mentioned this Saturday when I was watching the Zaleski fight. Again, Angelo. Mm-hmm. How many times have we broke down a motherfucking Neil Magny fight, and I've sat here and been like, don't fucking clinch with Neil Magny, and I promise you will win the fight. How these fucking coaches can do anything. If you are a fighter that has fought Neil Magny and you clinched with Neil Magny and your coaches did not immediately tell you, hey, you fucking retard, stop clinching with Neil Magny, you should immediately fire every fucking coach. That's the only way he wins. The second Zaleski started clinching with this guy, I told the chat, oh, he's going to fucking lose. He's going to fucking lose. And they all laughed at me. Dude, he's dominating. Bro, he's dominating. That's what he wants, so he can just do all the weird shit that he wants to do. So, I don't know what that tangent was for.
Yeah, game plans. That people are stupid.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Quite the tangent. WeWantPicks.com. Next up, at UFC Vegas 109, we have a very interesting matchup, a very split matchup. This is a fight that has a lot of people jumping from side to side. We have Miles Johns taking on Jean Matsumoto.
Hey.
Miles Johns, 15-3 in his career, 3-1-1 in his last 5. He's coming off the loss to Miles Johns. I definitely fucked those notes up. Who did he lose to? Who did he just? Oh, Felipe Lima. I wrote Miles Johns. under Miles Johns. He's taking on Jean
Wow.
Matsumoto.
Is it because he's black and you want to fight himself?
Is he black?
Gene?
Yeah, I don't think Miles Johns is black, dude. Maybe. I don't know.
What do you mean? What the hell?
He looks exactly like my brother. Identical. Same height, everything.
What does height have to do with anything?
Same facial structure. He looks exactly like my brother.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, okay. He's taking on Jean Matsumoto.
Hey.
16-1 in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that first ever loss. And that was to Robert Font. Miles Johns is a very good fighter, and we've seen him sort of come a long way. He started as a wrestler, then he knocked a bunch of people out. So then he overcorrected, was a pure striker, and now he seems to have found the balance where he's got the power in his hands. He's got very good wrestling. Miles Johns, a high-level athlete. He's very tough. He's fast. He hits hard. He can do all of the things. He is coming off that tricky loss to Felipe Lima where we saw the power, we saw the toughness, we saw the wrestling. He just literally wasn't better in that 15-minute window on that night. He's taking on Jean Matsumoto. I paused for him and everything. He's a well-rounded kid. He's got black belts in multiple different martial arts. He can initiate offensive takedowns. He can be a busy striker. If he is taken down, he can work on bottom. He stays busy. He makes you work. He's a creative striker. He's got a wide variety of kicks and counters. He does get hit, though, like a lot. But he is plenty tough. He's got plenty of cardio he can push through. He's coming off that insanely close loss to Rob Font where he had 7 takedowns, but he lost a split decision because he had a tiny little cut on his head. This is great matchmaking because this is a really fun fight. And we're going to find out if Jean is ready to fight the better fighters in this division or if he's just, we'll keep him where he is. Let's get him slow and steady pace. He's a young kid. He's only 20-something years old. I am a little biased on the Jean side because my ass is a little chapped. I thought he won that fight against Rob Font. I did not agree that all the work Jean put in was overshadowed by a small cut on his face. But the reality is Jean Matsumoto does get hit. And he initiates a lot of wrestling if he's getting hit a little too much. I think Miles Johns can win this fight. I am picking Miles Johns to win this fight. I think he hits hard. I think he's fast. I think he has better wrestling than Jean does. As long as he decides to use it, that's not always a guarantee. So I'm going to pick Miles Johns. And not only that, I bet on him, but I didn't bet the money line. I did plus 3.5, and that was still a plus money bet. All he needs to do, math-wise, is win 1 round on the judges' scorecards, and I think he can absolutely do that with just the veteran savvy, the good hands, the wrestling. Miles Johns is going to be the pick. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I'm a little bit biased here, guys. I'm a big fan of Jean Matsumoto. So I am biased, but this is a very, compared to his last 2 fights, this is a very favorable matchup for John Silva. I mean, both those last guys brought in crazy pressure. You had Katana, who's really good everywhere with crazy boxing pressure, was getting in a firefight with Gene, which was like a really welcome to the UFC moment. And then he fights a guy like Rob Font that came out and did the exact same thing. In fact, faked like a little glove touch to start the fight, rocked him with the right hand, and just really set the pace from the beginning. And guess what? He handled himself fine in both fights. He was able to find a way. I know that Rob Font fight, he lost or whatever. I thought he did enough to win the fight. I think a lot of people are on my side in that fight. I was obviously really high. I thought, he was going to be able to have a little bit more success with the striking. But a guy like Miles Johns isn't a crazy pressure guy. He's just kind of a plot forward. He wants to throw the big stuff. You might be able to overwhelm a young kid like Gene with volume and land your shots. But he's a good enough striker and a really good Muay Thai striker to where if you're just sitting back throwing the big stuff, he can see that stuff coming, or he can use that as his level change and he can get the takedowns that he wants as well. I think he's the better grappler too. Obviously, Miles has really good wrestling, but Gene is just so well-rounded. I've been talking about Gene for years and years now, being kind of the new age for this division, a future champion. He is so well-rounded. He's shown in those back-to-back fights how incredibly tough he can be. Really high fight IQ, doesn't really get overwhelmed. Even in that fight versus what's his name, he was taking down Argueta. He's taken down like 6 or 7 times early in that fight, and then just is able to just kind of work through it, find the guillotine, doesn't panic. I love Gene. I think it's a great matchup for him. Just because Miles Johns doesn't bring that pressure, will sit back on the strikes, and he's not going to be able to use his wrestling. And if he tries to use his wrestling, Gene can just kind of counter wrestle and wear him down. And, Miles kind of slows down if you really kind of keep that pace. I was at a Miles Johns fight before where I felt like I was the one hyping him up for the second and the third rounds, being like, come on, Miles. He thinks he was fucking dead tired in those fights. If he gets tired versus Gene could even find a finish in this one. So I'm very high on Gene.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the other side, obviously. Gene is somebody I've also been high on in the past. I also thought he'd run the Rob Font fight. One little tiny cut, and this is where people get annoying because the dude had 7 takedowns. He was hanging with the striking. He did have a small cut here. It wasn't a giant gash. It was quite literally the size of a paper cut. And everybody's like, no, he's bleeding. Damage. It's like, come on, dude. Come on. Let's relax. So I've been high on Gene in the past. I just think this is a tricky matchup. Veteran savvy is something.
It's a great matchup. He's the better striker, and he can equalize the wrestling. He's a good striker when he's not just getting overwhelmed by good boxers. I mean, Katana's a good boxer. Rob Font's obviously a really good boxer, too.
Yeah, Rob Font's a very good boxer. That's why I thought
fucking,
7
he's like
takedowns.
Priscila. He just fucking just sits on right hands.
And he has the wrestling he's been working in more lately. I don't know.
He's not going to wrestle Gene.
All right, so if you disagree with the pick, do you like my bet plus 3.5? You don't even think he wins a round?
This is a really good matchup for Gene, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm biased, guys. I promise you I am a little bit biased, but it feels like a really good matchup for him. I thought he was going to be able to really dominate Rob Font on the ground. Obviously, he wasn't really able to keep the control that I thought, but he's better on the feet versus Miles.
Yeah, it'll be a fun fight. I think this is phenomenal matchmaking. I'm looking forward to it. I am on the Miles John side. Jacob is on the Gene Matsumoto side. Whatever side you're on, DraftKings could score well. If Gene gets a bunch of takedowns, if Miles Johns lands big or gets his own takedowns. And if you want a tiebreaker, you want to see what BetSam thinks, what Artem thinks, what the artificial intelligence thinks that went 11-1 last week, just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. It's only $10 for an entire month. $10 is nothing nowadays. It was $10 3 years ago. And I promise you, $10 in 2025 is not $10 in 2022. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top.
Chat wasn't working.
I saw it looked frozen there, and then it just went. Mm-hmm. Another 5 spot from Johnny Castaneda. I had a July to forget. I never bitched. I trusted the process. The betting gods aren't always in our favor. July was what, when you have a card, I can't remember another card, and Chad will help me out here. When Abu Dhabi had 12 fights and 8 underdogs, actually, wasn't it 9 underdogs? Wasn't there 8 underdogs won on that card? I mean, that's just insane. We had a very similar case at UFC Nashville. Like, I do not remember crazy amounts of dogs. And I know that's like an opportunity to make money, like, oh, dogs. But it also screws everything else. It's crazy.
Yeah, the last couple months, I've honestly never had a run where all my reads, like, it feels like 90% of my reads are there, and then it's just like the bets aren't quite there. Like, it's just like, it's crazy. Where it's like, this is how I see it playing out, and it plays out that way, and then something goes awry.
No, it's been crazy.
Fight does not go the distance with Rebecca and Duncan. It's like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah, dude, that almost didn't. His eye was like, pow. Yeah, and Chris Duncan, a dude who gets dropped with a hard sneeze, all of a sudden is chinned up. No, it's been as a fan, it's been incredible. Next up, at UFC Vegas 109, we have another fight that has a lot of people split. We have Andre Fili taking on Christian Rodriguez. Andre Fili, 24-12 in his career. He is 2-3 in his last 5, though. He is alternating wins and losses. He's taking on Christian C-Rod Rodriguez, 12-3 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that decision loss to Melk Costa. Andre Fili's a well-rounded guy. He's got the best nickname in this space. He's got plenty of hype. At least he did when he was the young alpha male prospect, because he's got good boxing. He's got good striking. He's a technical brawler. He's got good wrestling. He's got some dog in him. Problem is he does get hit quite a bit. His chin isn't always there to back him up, but he does have good takedowns. He averages a little more than 2 per fight. Of those takedowns, though, he got sucked up into a guillotine in an entry against Mel Costa in his last one, taking on C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez. He's a slick striker. He's got good movement. He's got good speed. Takedown defense is decent at 69%. He has been taken down 25 times, though, in the UFC so far. He's established himself as a prospect killer. He has 6 wins in the UFC. Every single one of those wins was over a prospect. The losses, however, are all over more established UFC fighters. He's coming off that loss to Melk Costa, where he had a wrestle-heavy game plan, and he started to take over late, but it just was too little too late. C-Rod has yet to beat anybody with more than 2 fights in the UFC. He's a 2-1 favorite here. More than a 2-1 favorite here. Over a very solid, very talented, very well-rounded Andre Fili. And I understand this version of Andre Fili isn't quite the Andre Fili from a few years ago when he was a tried and true prospect getting after it. I also don't know if we're going to get a grapple-heavy C-Rod or a strike-heavy C-Rod. I imagine we're going to get a strike-heavy C-Rod. And Andre Fili is a good striker. I am going to go ahead and pick the dog here. I'm the dog guy tonight. I think Andre Fili's experience, his well-roundedness, might be able to get this done. Chris Rodriguez is obviously a very good fighter, but he has struggled against all the veterans he has fought. Every single veteran he has fought has been able to make something happen. And some of them are a little fluky, the Julian Erosa situation. I get it. But the reality is Andre Fili is a very talented fighter. Whether he puts it together on fight night, we'll just have to find out. But he's been in some wars. We know he can get after it. I like Andre Fili here. I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm picking the dog. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, obviously I had my issues with C-Rod. I still have my fucking issues with C-Rod. He lost that Isaac Bulgarian fight. There's no doubt about that. But, I mean, he's losing to a Jonathan Pierce, who just kind of a spam wrestler, was able to hold him down. Isaac obviously was doing the same thing. The Julian Rosa is actually kind of funny. Both these guys have kind of lost to, like, just feeding their head into a guillotine after they get a takedown. Like, not a takedown guillotine. Andre did it against Melk, just fucking, like, all of a sudden he's just, like, very slowly just kind of pulling over, and then the same thing happened with Christian against Julian Rosa. The Rosa one's a little bit fluky. The Mel Costa fight, I mean, he showed incredible fucking toughness in that fight, and that, remember, Mexico City. So I know that fight turned sloppy, all that stuff, but let's take that for a grain of salt. He came in with that pressure, was able to kind of withstand or keep that pressure against a very, very good opponent at elevation 10,000 feet, and almost pulled that fucking fight out of his ass. If he brings the same pressure, that's what he does. I mean, if he stays at range with Andre Fili, and Andre Fili can use that long length and snipe it from the outside, of course Andre can win this fight. But that's not how C-Rod fights. He's going to get in your face with that kind of fucking just wild boxing that looks a little bit sloppy, but he lands more than you think he does. He gets you against the fence, crazy, crazy volume, and then he can just clinch and just work takedowns off of that. So I know what C-Rod's going to do. He's going to bring the pressure. If he brings the pressure, he's just going to smother a guy like Andre Fili, who wants to stay at space and wants to stay at range and kind of fight in his own terms. So I feel pretty good about C-Rod this week. I've had my issues, so this definitely is not a biased pick. I bet and picking C-Rod as well. So I'm with most of the people in the chat. Seems like they feel pretty good about him.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. A lot of people seem to like C-Rod. What's funny is I haven't seen anybody outright pick Andre Fili. Like, and I don't watch other cappers, but I mean, people in the comments aren't like, I'm picking Fili. But I have seen a lot of, I love the Fili pick, Angelo. So it's like, it's support because I picked the dog, but I don't know if they actually agree with it. You get what I'm saying? So it's an interesting
a fluke
situation.
Guillotine in the last like whatever fights is like the only fight he's like really lost.
No, listen, I think C-Rod's a pretty good fighter. I also think Andre Fili is a very good fighter. And I think Andre Fili's just been fighting the better slate of competition, and his record reflects that. Oh, he lost to Dan Ige. He's losing to very, very good fighters. Didn't he go to hell and back with Nathaniel Wood in an absolute banger? Like, Andre Fili is good. He's on a good team. He's well-rounded. So I think he can pull this off. I have not pulled the trigger. I see people guessing that I have a plus 3.5. I don't have a plus 3.5 here. I have a plus 3.5 on Miles Johns because I know how absolutely durable that guy is. Andre Fili's not quite as durable. And even though C-Rod's not like a prolific finisher, I'm a little, I'll figure that one out.
And sizes, I know a lot of people will be like, oh, C-Rod's not the same guy at featherweight. Like, he was just bowling the people at 135 or whatever. Andre Fili isn't like a bulky, like 145er. He's pretty lean.
Tall and skinny.
So, yeah, so in those clinch positions, C-Rod's going to be just, I think the weight's going to be fine. I know there's a lot of people that are on like that. He's too small for division. Maybe, but Andre Fili is probably not that guy where it's really going to matter.
Yeah, he's not a giant at this weight class. He is tall. He's 5'11", but he's a slender gentleman. But I'm on Fili. Jacob's on C-Rod. We are split here. $7,800 in DraftKings Fantasy, $8,400 for C-Rod. I'm going to have to deep dive those numbers a little bit. I don't know how well C-Rod scores in DraftKings Fantasy. Obviously, in the last fight, he came out with the wrestle-heavy game plan, but typically, he's pitter-patter striking, a little bit of cage control here, a little bit of cage control there. If you do need a tiebreaker, we have an artificial intelligence. It's a literal AI. It's a neural net AI that is being loaded with data. We loaded it with every single UFC fight from like 2012 on. We didn't want to load it with the super old fights because that'll skew the data when the rules were different and fighting was just different in general. So it learned from all of that. And now after every single event, we give it what it picked, we give it what the actual results were, and then it learns from that. And last week, it went 11-1 picking fights. Is that a guaranteed outcome for next week? Of course fucking not. What it is, though, is
it loses one.
What it is, though, is a great guide, a great layer, a great tiebreaker, and just some solid insight to be like, wow, the AI, I don't know why, but it's very confident over here. It's very confident over there. If you want to check the AI out, if you want to get my picks and Jacob's and all the bets, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. It's freaking $10. You unlock all of it instantly. Then we have Eisman Lucindo taking on Angela Hill in the featured fight of the evening. I'm going to break this one down. It's a tricky fight because we just watched Angela Hill beat another young, hyped-up prospect. We just watched it in her last fight. But we got Eisman Lucindo at 17-6 in her career, 4-1 in her last 5. She's coming off the underwhelming loss to Amanda Lemos. She's taking on Angela Hill, 18-14 in her career, 3-2 in her last 5. She's coming off that underdog win over Ketlen Souza. Eisman Lucindo is kind of a bully, right? She's a grappler. She uses the speed and the power to clinch on the feet, and then she'll drag you to the ground. Once you're on the ground, she's got good top pressure. She uses strikes to loosen you up. She'll transition to submissions. The striking is just okay. She's essentially just waiting for you to throw, and then she'll counter. She rushes in. She looks for takedowns. The game plan is always get on top, control from there. She just lost to Amanda Lemos, where they landed a combined 16 strikes in 15 minutes. Absolute atrocity of a fight. Taking on Angela Hill. Angela Hill's the same fighter now that she has 5 years ago. And I'm saying that in a good way. This is a compliment to a 40-year-old woman. She is just as fast as she always was, just as good of a striker as she always was, just as crafty as she always was. Angela Hill is a high IQ fighter who pitter-patter strikes at distance, uses veteran savvy, uses her positional awareness, uses her speed and her ability to get wins. She just won her last fight quite literally with speed and mobility. She was just moving too much and too fast for Ketlen Souza. I mean, I might just be typical, like, oh, Angela won't make a real decision. This is a close-ass fight. We just watched Angela Hill beat, like, a not super fast woman by being fast and clean. Eisman Lucindo's not that fast. She's going to come in, big power, rush forward, and if Angela Hill circles and stays off the cage and doesn't get dragged to the ground, she can pop her way to a win. I do think Lucindo wins here. I'm going to pick her to win because I think she is big enough, strong enough, smothery enough to drag Angela to the ground, and she's got big power in her hands. So I'm going to pick Lucindo to win. But 2-1 against a woman who quite literally just won a very similar matchup, a little tricky here, but Lucindo's going to be the pick. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, Angela Hill's just going to fucking bury her. The way that Lucindo was acting against the pressure of fucking Amanda Lemos. Amanda Lemos isn't even really a grappler, and she was able to get takedowns. And the way that Lucindo was just accepting those positions, it seems like she's like just a young kid. I mean, she was just fighting like a kid that doesn't really, at that point of her career where she like cared enough to really try. I mean, it was very weird. And she is only 23, and maybe she's just not the fighter we thought she was. I mean, she's only 23, so she's got plenty of time, but these fights that she should be winning, who we thought that she was, she is not even winning at this point. First, it was a close one against Marina. You know, the Carolina fight was a good one. But then she fights a girl like another aging Amanda Lemos, where it's like, you're the young prospect. You should come in and just beat this girl, get the takedowns on her, or use some striking, make it dirty, whatever. And she kind of got steamrolled. And Angela Hill now is at that point of her career where she's like, fuck it. Like, I'm just coming forward and just coming forward and just coming forward. That pressure broke Lucinda in her last fight, and she acted like she didn't care. I know between the two of these girls, who's going to fucking give a fuck. I know who is going to fight for your money. And if I have to pick somebody that's going to fight for your fucking money, and one of them is a plus 175 dog, I'm taking that 10 out of fucking 10 times. When there's a question mark on one side, and I know Angela Hill is going to fucking fight her fucking shoulders off. I'm trying to think of something that she's got that she's beautiful, and I just love those fucking shoulders.
She's fucking great shape, yeah.
She's awesome, too. She's hilarious. And D mentioned in the chat, underrated hot. She is underrated hot. But I know she's going to give a fuck. And in this fight, a close fight, probably a back-and-forth fight, I'll take the girl that's going to give a fuck for almost a 200 dog all day. I played a money bet on her. I think she's going to win the fight, just steamroll the young kid. And Lucinda, maybe she needs to, leave a little bit and then comes back, because it seems like she's not who we thought she was.
Yeah, there was a great exchange in the chat here. WMMA said, Angela's 40. Like, basically saying a 40-year-old can't win this fight. And then Joseph said, Lamoche was 37. And that's a great point. Like, Isaac Lucindo just lost to an older woman. Who's to say that can't happen again?
She was supposed to be the wrestler. I mean, Lamoche is not a grappler.
Correct. Dude, they landed 16 strikes in that fight. 16.
Yeah, she just got laid on. It's crazy.
That was on a main card, too, and quite literally kicked off entire debates being like, can we just never put women's fights on main cards again? It was a great card, and then that fight killed all the momentum, remember? It was like, great fight, and then this is like the worst fight we've ever seen, and it just set the tone.
I'll tell you right now, I made a promise to the people that I was not going to make a female lock of the week, and I will stick to that, but if I could, it would be Angela Hill.
Listen, I don't hate it. And I said in my video, plus 3.5 is a guarantee in this fight, but it will be juiced, and sure as shit, it's juiced. Of course it's juiced. Because not only can Angela win one round, she can win all three. I'm on the Lucindo side. I think she quite literally can bully here, but I'm not touching it. Hey.
Who bullies Angela Hill? Nobody. It's crazy.
I got to go through her full fight history.
It's crazy.
I'm going to pick...
She might get taken down once or twice, but nobody bullies her for 15 minutes.
I can't bet on it because I bet on an over 2.5 in an Angela Hill fight last year, and I put it in the safety parlay. And Angela Hill found a finish. Quite literally her first finish in like 7 years or something like that.
First ever submission win.
It was like, what the fuck, dude? And it's like, idiot. How could you do the over 2.5? It's like, how could I do the over 2.5? All signs pointed to that. So I'm not betting here. Tons of respect for Angela Hill.
Anyone else think Angela's got a sexy voice?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, Angela, not Angelo. Yeah, it is hot. It's got quite the pitch.
She's funny, though. I like Angela.
Yeah, 100%. And she's got she's got a good sense of humor.
High energy. I love high energy. I love she just oozes positivity.
And oddly enough,
when I'm looking at Lucinda, I'm not seeing a lot of positivity, except for I'm positively certain that those are some nice big pouty lips.
Dude, somebody said I would get an Eisman Lucinda fleshlight. Like somebody commented that before.
Literally.
This is it. We just got this comment on YouTube, and it says, can we agree that Angela Hill is the Neil Magny of her division? I mean, that's not a terrible, a crafty veteran who can get wins later in their career. Not terrible.
Have you been in a point where your life where you've almost bought a fleshlight?
Never.
Or like a pocket pussy, or like one of those fake asses.
All these contraptions. Who needs the fake asses?
I know, it's crazy.
Fake asses.
It's crazy. I know, that's crazy.
Yeah, who would do that?
It would. I don't know.
Yeah. $4.99. Little reminder: we love and appreciate you, fellas.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Dude, a fake ass really is crazy. Just all fucking giant, jiggly and
I told you I was watching Nate. I was watching Nate Shot, who's a famous streamer. A lot of people know who he is, and he was talking about how he had a fleshlight that when they lived in their streamer house or whatever. He's like, I think we all had one, but he said that he had one, and he said the first time it's awesome. Obviously, it feels great, but he said that feeling post nut when you got to rinse it out with
Yeah,
warm
dude.
water. You got to clean it out. And you're just sitting there reevaluating your entire life. I think he said he did it once, rinse it out. It sat there for like a few weeks. And then he's like, let me give it a go again. And then did it again. But that second time, he's like, I'll never
Same
do it.
shame. Yeah, same
the shame
shame.
you feel of rinsing out a flashlight in the fucking sink afterwards.
Dude, that has to be so fucking gross, dude.
It is. Yeah, it is. I would imagine it is. I would imagine it is, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you for the positive words in the last super chat. Then we had another one from Johnny Castaneda. Michael Johnson's like 40 and he won against somebody young. He cost me. Definitely going Angelo experience. I mean, there is something to be said about that. It's not necessarily the actual age as it is the experience. Like we just saw, what the hell was his name? Who did Michael Johnson just beat? Zellhuber. It wasn't the age. That wasn't the difference. It was quite literally just the experience. Michael Johnson's like, I don't care. I'm fighting.
It was
And
a
Zellhuber was just
stylistic fight.
frozen.
He won a fight. He was just a point fighter. And now we kind of got the same thing here where this girl wants
She's
to
a
be the bully. Now she's fighting an actual fucking bully. My girl, Angie.
All right, we're throwing one in. Hold on. You're going to hear it. Hold on. You hear it?
I'll tell you what that I use, Angelo. I know a lot of people like those nicotine products and they love, but then you get addicted to them. You got to buy more and more. You put in your lip more and more and all this type of stuff. What I've turned to, Angelo, which I actually love, is these NZE
Oh, you got some?
packets here too. These are nicotine-free
What's the point?
energy. So they just have a little bit of hit of caffeine,
caffeine.
and they've got some other vitamins and some good stuff that keeps you focused throughout the day. And that's what I use. It's not nicotine. It's not a head high. But if you're just looking for a nice little, maybe you're trying to get off the other stuff. You're trying to get off the nicotine. Let's look at these NZE. And they got all sorts of flavors. They got cinnamon. They got spearmint. If you don't want the energy.
Did they send you these?
And if you don't want the energy.
Dude, did they send you these?
Excuse
There's
me.
so many.
And if you don't want the energy, you don't want the caffeine, they just got one that's just for focus as well. So if you're looking for a safe alternative, try out NZE.
Did they send you those? You just bought a whole fucking sleeve of these things out of nowhere.
Give them a try. They're great. That's how I get through my streams, with NZE.
All right. Listen, this is a plug for the tape index. For those of you who like to do your own research, this is a tape index. This is what it does. It lines up the fights for you. It can be an absolute pain in the dick finding the fights. I know some people are like, dude, you just go to Fight Pass, you search. No, you don't. Have you tried to find a fight on Fight Pass? Have you tried to find a Contender Series fight on Fight Pass? It's a pain in the ass. But more importantly, the tape index will follow the fights wherever they go. Just a few
They didn't
months ago.
sponsor me, guys. Damn it, guys. I just bought them. I was just trying to find
A whole ass sleeve.
Because I bought some other ones that are like
Nicotine ones?
like 100. No, I'm not a fucking pussy loser. If I want nicotine, I'll smoke a fucking Marlboro. Like I'll fucking do it like a man. Like I'll light up a fucking cigarette and sit outside and fucking actually do it if I actually want to do it. But if I was thinking about it on streams, like a little hit of caffeine or something like that. But no, they don't. I just bought them. They don't. But I thought that was pretty good. People bought it like it was.
I thought it was too. You had so many. If you only had one, I knew it was a bit. But once
Well, I
you
bought them
pulled
off
up a
Amazon,
fucking
so they
rack
always
of
sell
them-
them. I'm not gonna. I bought them off Amazon because I was just reading reviews, so they sell them at like $6 or I think $6 and thing, whatever.
There
And
you
one
go.
was a variety pack, so it's like. Well,
There we go. Guys, check out the tape index. Oh, God. It went straight to my head. Check out the tape index. A few months ago, all these fights were on ESPN Plus. Now, they're on Fight Pass. In a few months from now, when the UFC signs a new broadcast rights deal, who the hell knows where they're going? Tape index is one of the many tools on the website. We have the co-main event of the evening. We have Steve Urseg taking on O'Day Osborne. Steve Urseg, 12-4 in his career, but a very unfortunate 2-3 in his last 5 on an unfortunate 3-fight skid. Taking on O'Day Osborne, 13-8 in his career. Also 2-3 in his last 5. Coming off a bounce-back win over Luis Garul. Listen, this is a short-notice fight. A true short-notice fight. Steve Urseg was already on the card. He lost his opponent famously last week, and O'Day Osborne stepped up on short notice. And honestly, probably a bit of a gift for Steve Urseg because he could use a win right about now. worked his way to a title, and has lost 3 in a row. And I don't know if that's because Steve Urseg just was never very good, or maybe he's just not one of the top 5 best fighters on planet Earth. We like to call Steve Urseg a striker. People like to point out his striking. The reality is he's a grappler. He quite literally won an Australian national championship in wrestling. He's a grappler. The striking has improved. The striking is pretty good, but he is a wrestler. With that background, he's coming off that 3rd loss in a row. This time was a decision to Brandon Moreno where he was outstruck, and despite being an Australian national champion, attempted 0 takedowns whatsoever. He's taking out Ode Osborne, a southpaw striker. He uses range well. He keeps people at the end of his punches. He has a ton of power. He's got great finishing ability, especially at this weight class of 125 pounds. He has 6 wins in the UFC. He has takedowns in 3 of them, and while he may squeak in an occasional offensive takedown, the defense is not quite there. He's coming off that KO win over Luis Garul just a few months ago. I have famously been a bit of a Steve Urseg hater. I think he's a little overrated. I don't quite think he is as good as a lot of people think he is. I think that sort of run to the title said more about the current state of the division than it did about Steve's actual skill sets. He earned a title shot with a knockout over, what the hell was this, Matt Schnell. But Steve Urseg is a high IQ fighter. He's got good striking. He's got very good wrestling. He just doesn't use it that much. I'm going to go ahead and pick Steve Urseg here. He should get it done. He had a full fight camp. He's a capable striker, and I'm positive he has good enough wrestling to take down Ode Osborne. Will he use it? God only knows. God only knows. If I knew Urseg would use the wrestling, I'd be all over him here. I don't quite know if he's going to use it or not because we haven't seen a ton of it in the UFC despite the accolades and the actual wrestling competition. But on a 3-fight skid, knowing if he loses this fight, a 4-fight skid, they probably cut his ass because he's not a draw. So Urseg's going to be the pick. Do you agree he probably needs to do a little bit of wrestling here?
So let me just get this straight. You picked the white guy.
Are Australians white? Aren't they their own thing?
What's Sam?
Sam's pretty fucking white. He's New Zealand, though, but Sam's pretty
Is Artem Australian?
Sam's so white, he has carpet inside of his garage.
Why is that a white thing?
It just seems like a super white thing to do. He parks his car in there. It's not a carpeted garage that there's not a car in. There's a car in there, too.
Seems like you're just like, now you're making up stereotypes versus...
No, you want to know what?
Because yeah, I forgot. It's only American whites that you like.
No, you know what is an unbelievably white thing to do? And this is more of an Italian thing, is they water the driveway. They just hose off the driveway and the sidewalk and all that. But go ahead, Jacob. Who do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to pick Steve Urseg in this fight, but I mean, he is on like the Dominic Reyes career path to where he doesn't shoot a takedown, like somebody said in the chat. He doesn't shoot a takedown in the 5th round of that fight. He's the fucking champion. Dominic Reyes, toe-to-toe with John Jones. He was the fucking champion, basically. And then Dominic Reyes couldn't fucking win a fight, was getting knocked out like crazy. Urseg can't win a fight, and maybe he's about to get knocked out again because Ode can knock out anybody in this division. If he comes in and knocks out Steve Urseg, I'm not going to be crazy surprised. So like you said, if you're Steve Urseg, why give him that chance? The guy can't wrestle very well. He can easily get out grappled. You have those credentials. Why take the chance? Let's get back on track here. This was supposed to be a lot bigger fight than what it ended up being. You're supposed to beat Ode. Nobody gives a fuck if you finish him, if you dominate him on the ground, whatever it is. Just get your W. Yeah, just get your W. Get back in the win column and just and stack up a couple more wins. That's all you need to do at this point. So just fucking wait for that right hand to come, shoot the takedown, easy peasy, get the control, get the win. That's what he should do. If he just stands and bangs, he said after that Kai Kara-France fight, he cleaned a lot of stuff up. He's a high IQ guy. He said, I was trying to stay in range to throw the check right when he was coming in. I've cleaned that up with my footwork, all this stuff. And he did look improved versus Moreno. He didn't win that fight, but he did look improved in the striking.
But he still attempted no takedowns. Like, you're losing the striking rounds 1, 2, and 3. Shoot a fucking takedown in round 4.
He outstruck Moreno. He obviously thought that he was winning the striking exchanges. When you're in the fight, you don't realize that you're not. He had more striking numbers, so he felt like he was landing. So it is what it is. Just like when people are like, how could he think he won that fight? It's like a lot of fights are like, when both people are landing, this is what I was trying to tell people on live stream. When both people are landing, you as a fighter really only understand, oh, I'm landing. So the whole fight you're thinking, I'm landing. Like, yeah, you're getting hit too, but if it doesn't hurt, you're thinking, and if the other guy's bleeding and stuff, in the fight you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm fucking landing too. Like, this is a close fight, even though it might not be a close fight. He outlanded Brandon Moreno, but Ode's only shot is to land the big power shot. Just don't give him the option. Steve Ursig should win.
He should win. I agree. Same boat. He should wrestle. Keep your job, dude. Fucking wrestle. If it's boring, to Jacob's point, nobody cares. You kept your job. Ode is a very good fighter. He's a very dangerous fighter. Even that, was it Manel Kopp who knocked him out? He was doing great in that fight.
Yeah, I was all over
Eats
Ode
a knee
in
with
that
like
fight.
1 second
I literally
left.
was all over Ode, and he's just, damn it.
He was doing great in that fight. Ode is very, very good. Even the loss to what's that dude's name? Who's that dude that he lost to at Noche?
Yeah, Ronaldo, Souza.
Yeah, that was a great fight too. Like, Ode is very, very good.
Yeah, he fucked that dude up.
Yeah. But he can't defend takedowns. So Steve Ursig, don't fuck around, shoot some takedowns. Otherwise, a very good fighter will pull this off and you won't be in the UFC. So come on, damn it. $9,100 for Steve Ursig. I don't like it. I don't like it because even if he wins, let's say he does go the wrestling path, I think he gets his takedowns and just chills. Like, I think if Steve Ursig wrestles, it is a boring, slow fight, and that's totally fine. Keep your job. But I don't think he'll score that well in DraftKings Fantasy. I don't think he finishes Ode. Ode's tough. Ode's good. Ode is a dog. You want to throw a dart or two at your DraftKings Fantasy lineup? Go for it. And if you want to check out what the optimizer has to say, what the artificial intelligence has to say, what the fight simulator has to say, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. It is only $10 for an entire month. This was funny. This made me laugh. Carpet in the garage is Ann's way of saying his boyfriend has a hairy ass. I thought that was funny. And WMA says other ethnicities don't water their driveway. It might not even be an Italian thing. It might be a New York thing. We water the fucking driveway. Like, I would go to my grandparents, my aunt and uncle's house, everybody.
We always clean the driveway with a hose every weekend.
I mean, because they didn't have grass in the front, so it was just water in the driveway.
We had a big yard and a driveway, 3-car garage.
Oh, wow, whoa! Carpet?
Finished basement.
Oh, what I wouldn't do. I mean, we have media rooms here, but what I wouldn't do for a fucking
Oh my
basement.
God. The greatest thing ever when you have like an actual like finished basement is with like summertime. It's hot outside. You've been doing stuff, and then you're just ready to wind down, and you go into the basement. It's like 60 degrees, and you're just in there watching a movie or something.
Oh, dude. My favorite memory in my house in Connecticut, before we moved here, was watching a movie in the basement, like a good-sized TV on the wall, and a sliding. It was a walkout basement because we lived on a fucking 90-degree hill. And a sliding glass door, and you're watching
walkout
TV.
basements are not the same. That's not a basement.
Well, anyway, this walkout basement was great because we were watching the big TV here. It was nighttime. We had the floodlight on in the back, and it was just fucking blizzarding. And just watching the snow come down.
That is not a basement. That's a downstairs, Angelo.
No,
That's a downstairs. A basement
it is quite
a
literally called
they call
a walkout
basement is just a downstairs. That's all
No,
it is.
it's not.
A basement
It's a walkout
is
basement.
windowless. Maybe a fucking little vent thing, windowless. That is a basement. You lived in a fucking downstairs.
Because-
you stupid fuck.
In the Northeast, we had what we call hills. Not that fucking flat corn bullshit you were living with. We had hills. Your basements quite literally were only underground because it was too damn flat. We had hills.
People had walkout basements all the time, but that's not an actual basement. What I'm talking about is underground. Like, you didn't have the experience of walking down to a cool basement because you had fucking windows to the outside.
My buddy had one, and it was great. He had a fucking ping pong table.
Yeah, the
One of
best
those
experience.
one of these TVs where you go when you run your finger across. You know those? When TVs
One of
first
the
got
best
big.
experiences I ever had in my childhood was the old couple next door invited all the neighborhood kids to their basement to watch Titanic.
Why don't you tell us how old your neighbors were and if they had a kid?
they were definitely at that point in their 60s or 70s, and the guy was awesome because he had a new.
I bet he was.
He bought the new Corvette every year, so he had the new Corvette. This was in the 90s.
Did they have a child that you played with?
They had a couple Furbies that they let us play with.
There is not a world where I would let my children go play at the childless neighbor's house ever.
It was
ever.
There was like 10 of us down there. They bought the
candy,
VHS of Titanic, which we were all like under 10 years old watching Titanic.
Dude,
that was the first titties I've ever seen. Was in that basement watching Titanic.
You get after it in 1997.
And I was like, what are these? What's going on here? What is going on here?
Oh yeah.
Holy guacamole. But and then we had to they weren't down there with us. They just left us there, but then we had to go get them because as you know, Angelo, what's special about that Titanic on VHS?
You got to switch the tape.
You had to switch the tapes.
Two tapes.
It was too long. They had 2 tapes. Just like when you listen to fucking something on cassette, you had to flip. These kids don't know. You had to fucking please flip to the other side.
At least you could flip a cassette over the videotape. Literally, it was a big ass box like this. It was crazy. We got a $10 super chatterooski. Angelo, rank these fighters favorite to least favorite. Well, favorites can and the choices are Jordan Vichenik, Umar Sy, Kevin Gisette, Rebecki. Rebecki's my favorite. Kevin Gisette, least favorite. Fucking staring contest pussy with high level judo that doesn't use it. I'll go Rebecki favorite, then maybe.
You should have blind ranked them.
Then maybe. Jordan and Umar are tough because Jordan at least tries to fight. And Umar's last fight, he just stood there like an asshole doing nothing, and he is a physical specimen. So that's kind of tough. Umar's the better fighter than Jordan, so probably Umar, then Jordan. And Kevin just said, dead fucking last, you bum clown. Bye, no job. That's what happens when you don't fucking fight. Nobody will get mad at a Rebecki getting after it, swinging for his life in a great fight.
I wish everyone could learn how to the resilience
lose like Rebecki.
The resilience and tenacity that I showed in that basement fighting to keep my virginity. If everyone could fight with that sense of urgency that I had to get away in that moment.
Yeah, how many blankets did Jacob have covering his waist when Titanic was on?
You want to see another ship sink?
Uh-oh. Iceberg. Okay. Next up, at UFC Vegas 109, we have the main event of the evening. We have Roman Dolidze taking on Anthony Hernandez. Roman Dolidze, 15-3 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He is coming off of that back-and-forth fight with a fellow Italian man. He's on a nice little 3-fight win streak. He is taking on Anthony Hernandez, and as they said, over and over and over. The two things that I heard nonstop at last week's UFC Vegas 108 were Jim Abbott changed baseball. Nonstop. Now, I don't know how many times you got that commercial, but it was nonstop. And the other fact they kept beating into our heads was that Anthony Hernandez is on a 7-fight win streak, the second longest win streak in this division, behind only Dricus du Plessis, who fights for the title next week. Roman Dolidze, as we all know, powerful striker, big, heavy hands. But he's not just a striker, despite only striking his last fight. This guy is a world-class, world champion grappler. Unbelievable grappler, very powerful striker. Doesn't always do both things. Questionable cardio early in his career. This fucking pouch is developing a lot of spit, so I have to swallow a lot of fucking spit.
Holy cow. What a professional.
I'm breaking this down. Dude, I've never been more focused in my life. Because with a Lucy breaker, not only do you get the cool rush. Roman Dolidze, as we all know, nasty grappler, very heavy-handed striker. But unfortunately, you can't count on him to mix the two together. He's kind of just doing one or the other. And he's not even really initiating grappling. He's getting taken down and then doing some crazy shit. Taking on Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Fluffy Hernandez is a very good grappler. He is a black belt. Decent striker, but mostly a cardio demon. This guy moves forward, sets a relentless pace.
Dude. Hearing you swallow your spit is so disgusting.
He's basically, Jacob, all those basement memories are going to come flooding back, and Jacob's going to have a full breakdown one of these days on this stream. Anthony Hernandez is, as I've put it, the Marab of the middleweight division, and not because his wrestling is so high level, but because he doesn't stop. This guy has endless cardio. He moves forward, throws a couple strikes, wrestle. Throws a couple strikes, wrestle. He averages, what is it? More than 6 takedowns per 15 minutes because he sets that relentless pace. The reality is, though, this is a little bit different than, Anthony Hernandez is just going to wear down Roman, because Roman has heavy-ass hands on the feet and on the ground, immediately puts you in trouble. The last 2 people that took him down lost their legs. Phil Hawes had a sick duck under. Took him down. Roman Dolidze ripped that dude's leg off of his body. Phil Hawes was stumbling around, got knocked out. Jack Hermanson takes Roman down immediately in a pretzel. That guy's a high-level black belt. Now, there is something to be said about relentless cardio. I do think Anthony Hernandez's jiu-jitsu is hopefully good enough to stay alive. So I'm going to pick Anthony Hernandez here because he does have that relentless pace. And if he does stay alive long enough, he should be able to just get the takedowns and move forward, and get the takedowns and move forward. Pressure on the feet, pressure on the ground, pressure on the feet, pressure on the ground. Anthony Hernandez is going to be the pick, but absolutely with 100% certainty, this could get dicey very quickly on the ground. I'm picking Hernandez, but I fully recognize Roman Dolidze, what he can do. And maybe we go with the tried and true, never lost Roman Dolidze inside the distance decision, no action bet. What do you think, Jacob?
I'm going to say something a little bit crazy here. And I like Fluffy. I was at Fluffy's last fight. I took a picture with Fluffy after the fight. I can even, it's kind of my boy, man. Me and the big Fluff. You know what I mean? Let's get that picture up. There's me and the big Fluff. Me and Fluffy after the fight, just absolutely best friends. I got nothing against Fluffy. I'm going to say something a little bit crazy here. If he comes in and survives the first 1 or 2 rounds, and this extends 3rd or 4th round, he's probably going to win. He's probably going to look like his price tag. Everyone playing Fluffy, I get it. Fluffy, against actual grapplers, high-level grapplers, has Homer Simpsoned his way to a win. Against Rodolfo, he was kind of getting mauled early. Rodolfo does his little gas thing. Fluffy takes over. There you go. He wins the fight. Against Brendan Allen, he's doing his thing. Brendan Allen reverses him and is kind of beating the fuck out of this guy. On top of him, elbows, going for submissions. I promise you one thing. Okay? If Fluffy is going to Homer Simpson his way against Roman, if Roman is able to get to the positions that Rodolfo got to, especially if he's able to get to the positions that Brendan Allen got to, where he was almost mounted, Roman Dolidze is not going to be looking for fucking arm triangles. Roman Dolidze is not going to be looking to try and get a little back take and throw in a little rear naked choke. He's not going to be trying to force these dumbass fucking submissions. He's got those abilities. But what's he going to do? You saw a little flash of it versus Kevin Holland, right? He said he wanted to grapple a little bit more in that fight. People ask, why didn't he grapple? I don't know why he doesn't do it more often, because he doesn't want to gas himself. He likes striking. But if you're going to wrestle him, guess what? He will use his grappling. And if he gets in a position that Brendan Allen got into in the first round, he is going to posture up. He is going to be smiling with that psychopath Georgia grin, and he is going to be throwing elbows, trying to draw blood like a vampire that is starving to death. And I do not believe that Fluffy will survive those type of situations. Fluffy is not a very good striker. He gets hit a lot. Roman will throw heavy shots. If Fluffy is shooting takedowns in the beginning, in the first round, which he's probably going to have to, because Roman is going to force those takedowns out of him. He's going to bring the pressure, the big shots. There's going to be a scramble in the first round of fights against actual grapplers. Fluffy tends to lose scrambles before he can really wear people down. And if he's losing those scrambles and Roman is on top of this guy, I have all the confidence in the world that that man is going to be put away either in the first or second round, probably in the first round if it happens. I got to take Roman. I can't take the minus 330 to Homer Simpson his way to another win because Roman is not fucking Rodolfo and he's not fucking Brennan Allen. If he's on top of this guy, he's going to fucking make him pay. And if Fluffy gets in a weird position, Fluffy's not like this. I know he's been burying these kickboxers with the wrestling and the grappling. I respect his toughness. I respect his relentless wrestling and all that stuff, but he's not like just some guy that just never loses grappling and can't get submitted or can't whatever. He's human too, and I've seen him in bad positions, and if Roman's in those positions, he's going to fuck this dude up. So I got to play the fucking plus 270 on a guy that I believe at some point is going to be on top of this dude. I'll take a fucking flyer on that. I'm taking Roman.
Yeah, listen, I'm a big Roman guy, obviously. Picked him many times over, and a couple comments in the chat here. One is Nasruddin Imavov beat his ass. Nasruddin's fucking good. Like, very good. Everywhere. So, yeah, Nasruddin had quite a bit of success in that fight. And then people talking about Vieira. Roman Dolidze's jiu-jitsu is as good, if not better, than Rodolfo Vieira, at least in a cage. And
Marcus, too, I was talking to Marcus, what's next bet? He was like, yeah, but who is Roman? What grapplers has he even really fought? It's like he can't control who he fights. The people that have tried to grapple him got fucked up.
Jack Hermanson.
Yeah, it's like he can't control who he's fought. And on the same side, what grapplers have Fluffy fought? Every time he does, he gets fucked up, and then he just
outlasts.
Yeah, then he just fucking. So it's like you're trying to penalize Roman for looking good in the limited time he fought a grappler, but every time Fluffy is fighting grapplers, he fucking struggles early.
Listen, and I picked Anthony Hernandez. This guy's fucking losing his goddamn mind. I picked Anthony Hernandez here. I'm not picking Roman. I love Roman, but I fully recognize that Roman hits like a freight train and has incredible grappling on the ground. I'm going to pick Hernandez. He's not going to stop.
Rodolfo fucking quit, and Brendan Allen fucking quit. Roman's not going to fucking quit ever.
Rodolfo's cardio was fucking bad in that fight. That first round was borderline at 10-8, and then he gassed. Listen, I am picking Anthony Hernandez because I do think he can wear down Roman. And a lot of people talk about Roman.
If it extends, 100%. I have money on Roman. If this is getting ready to start the third round, I'm going to be like, oh, fuck. You know?
Yeah. And Roman's cardio, obviously, it's not amazing, but it's not awful. It used to be worse. He has improved the cardio. It's nowhere near Anthony's.
About the cardio. Because his cardio has looked shoddy in striking. He's not a natural striker. He's not a conservative striker. He throws heavy with everything he throws. He's not a guy that can just kind of bounce around and pump out a jab and do that for 25 minutes. We haven't seen if he can grapple for 25 minutes. This guy's a lifelong grappler. Some of these guys can just float on top of somebody effortlessly forever because they know how, like you said, when I'm grappling, everything I do is like fucking intense and I blow myself out. That's him in striking. Like everything is so intense. But in grappling, when you know how to just float and just go with positions, Fluffy might come in, try to wrestle this guy, and all of a sudden realize, holy shit, Roman can grapple for fucking half hour because he's just done it forever. He knows where to rest. He knows where to.
No, Roman's nasty. I'm picking Fluffy because I am in the camp of he stay safe and you'll get there. You have 5 rounds, stay safe and you'll get there. But fully recognize the danger of Roman Dolidze. I think this is the line seems a bit wide, but I guess we'll find out. We'll find out what that cardio will or will not do in this fight. Great main event. I am very much looking forward to this fight in this division. The title is on the line next week. We just watched somebody make a statement last week. Anthony Hernandez making his own statement. The middleweight division all of a sudden went from one of the worst divisions to one of the most exciting. We got RDR. We got Fluffy Hernandez. If he wins, he's on a wild win streak. We got Chimaev. We got DDP. This is a great weight class. Imavov, Kyle Barallo fighting
Whoever
at UFC
wins
Paris.
this one's probably a win away from a title eliminator win. Does that make sense? Like they're 2 wins away from a title.
I think if Anthony blows through Roman, they're probably going to give the next title shot to RDR, which I do think they should do because he's wildly popular right now. He definitely has more popularity than Anthony Hernandez does. But let's say Anthony blows through Roman, he'll get a title shot. He'll probably sit a little bit, but he'll get a title shot. If Roman wins, he'll need another win or two. Maybe they give him the winner of Nasruddin and Kyle Barallo. But this weight class, all of a sudden, is very exciting. This is a great main event. I am looking forward to it. Jacob and
we got I mean, I know this is the main event, but the first fight, another title contender, Cody Brundage is in this division as well.
He technically only has one loss in that last 5. So a couple wins away from doing something for sure. If you need a tiebreaker between me and Jacob, check out the Artificial Intelligence. Check out BetSam. Check out Artem. All of it on the website. Couple of super chatterinos. $4.99 from.
Before we get to that too, because people are acting like I don't think it's crazy that Roman wins a decision. You literally have no idea if he can wrestle for 50. He's a lifelong grappler. You have no idea if Fluffy. People just assume that Roman's just going to gas out and can't grapple at all in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. There's a good chance that he actually can at least be able to, because Fluffy isn't a guy that just automatically dominates the wrestling in the 3rd, 4th rounds or in 5th rounds of the 5-round fights, right? He still has a very low takedown. He's got to keep reshooting. And in Vegas, that can look desperate. If Roman can just do enough to just kind of withstand it or whatever, laying some shots in between, that desperation might not look good in the judge's eyes. So I'm just saying, it's not crazy that Roman wins a decision.
Yeah, Vegas definitely doesn't like empty takedowns. Somebody pointed out the stats. They're like, Fluffy only gets hit with 2.61 significant strikes a minute. Roman gets hit with 3.56. Let's look at their last fights. Roman just stood for 25 minutes. Of course he got hit. Where Anthony Hernandez is getting over 6 takedowns per fight. He's not getting hit as much because he is spending the vast majority of his fights on the ground. So sometimes the stats can be skewed based off of the matchup. $4.99 from Seth Otto. Who would last longer? Oh, okay. Who would last longer, do better in prison? I guess it's between me and Jacob. Side note, who would enjoy it more? I would not do well in prison.
You would be the leader of the fucking Aryans in 6 months.
They would say he's Italian. No. The Aryans, I'm too ethnic for that. And I'm not ethnic enough to join any other crew. Plus, I like my air conditioning. I like my privacy. No. I would not do well. I didn't like sleepaway camps. Like, no. I like to sleep at home comfortably. I would not do well at all. So Jacob,
I do great. I'm funny. I can go. I'm welcome to any hood, no matter what. I grew up in rural Indiana, so I could just kind of go group to group, and they'd be like, "Yo, what's up, man?" I'd be,
You adapt. Hey, but 2 days in. Hey,
Hispanics love me. Black people love me. It's the Aryans that would probably have an issue with me. Why are you talking to them? Well, I relate to them.
Okay. $1.99 super chat from Ale, New York. Roman and the under 2.5 is plus 550. Ooh, a same game parlay. I'm surprised that's I guess plus 550 seems a little low considering you get a dog and a round line under. The round line is 3.5, so under 2.5 seems a little.
Brundage just moved to minus 180.
Yeah, he's no longer.
I thought it was gonna be minus 200, minus 250. So it's about where it's
That's
headed.
probably where it's gonna end up. And then Johnny Castaneda with a $2 super chat lock of the week. Roman doing some predictions and some foreshadowing there, guys.
Aryans aren't accepting redheads. I have blonde hair and blue eyes. I literally am like the perfect race in people's and some other people. In Angelo's eyes, I am the perfect race.
$2 super chat from 3 de Wills. Jacob would drop the soap on purpose. Oops. So slippery. Well,
do you have an issue with homosexuality?
No.
When's the last? In the last 6 months?
Literally like everybody.
Let's think. In the last 6 months, what is the most homosexual thing you've done?
I don't know. Anytime
was it today when you grabbed my nuts?
I kicked it.
Or gave me hickeys on my arm? Did you guys see the hickeys he gave me?
Every time there's a vlog, people say I sit pretty.
Look what Angelo did to me today.
Why are you flexing in that picture, you fucking dweeb?
I'm just going like this. Muscles naturally do that. The hell are you talking about?
Oops. How did that fucking... How pale are you? That you're just bruised and battered from.
Angelo, I train to get better. So when I'm going in there, I'm fucking in there fucking passing. I'm fucking doing this.
Improvements.
You're just sitting there like this. on your big belly, and I just bounce off your fucking belly. You ever try to fucking go from side control to mount on this guy? It's impossible. I swung my leg over.
It is
like,
impossible.
Get this thing out of my
It is
fucking way.
impossible. That is correct. It is impossible. I'll create a scramble like a motherfucker. Guys, download the app. App is 100% free. Just search We Want Picks in the App Store. The app has everything the website has, and then push notifications. Inside the app and on the website, you'll have full access to the fight simulator. This simulates fights 100,000 times, and not only does it give you the outputs, it gives you each individual statistic along the way. We use the fight simulator to find the significant strike lines that we like. Go to Prize Picks, go to Underdog, go to a different book. We have a tape index. This just lines up the fights for you. So if you want to do your research, you put this on the side, you click the video, you watch the tape, you take your notes, you move on to the next one. We have an optimizer. This will build not only DraftKings fantasy lineups, but FanDuel fantasy lineups as well, and a data analyzer. The data analyzer is quite literally the most one-stop shop tool that we have. First of all, the tape index is inside of it. Second of all, it has every fighter on this card and the future, and it lines up your fighter, all of their stats next to their opponent's stats, and then you can start to filter those stats. I want to see strikes landed in decision wins. I want to see takedowns landed in losses. All of that information at your fingertips. Teach a man to fish. Use the tools. Find your own spots, and if you do,
you don't know how to fish. You fish with a fucking fork on a rod.
No, we go fishing. We do it the Italian way,
fish.
where we use first bow fish, and that shit's fucking fun as hell. And we when I take the girls,
you're that guy that they put a deer in a fenced area and they let you shoot it. You go to these ponds with your bow.
Fuck out of here.
And you snipe.
First of all,
fish. You're not in these fucking streams and rivers and
quite
fucking
literally.
You're not baiting. You're not using different baits. You're not fucking
First
tying
of all,
hooks.
bow fishing is incredible. It's a ton of fun. We do it in Florida. I haven't done it here yet, but in the canals in Florida, you walk up and down the canals, and then you reel it in. You reel in the arrow. Bow fishing is awesome. Second of all,
Yeah, you're acting like. I mean, it's like.
I grew up.
It's like fishing for trout during the trout run. Like, yeah, they're just all there. Just go grab one. There's no skill behind it. You're not fucking getting that thing a little bit, and then fucking hooking the fucking. Come on, man. I don't eat rabbit shit.
It's debatable. And I do love fishing. I tie the hooks. I do all the thing. I grew up fishing. My stepdad's a giant fisherman. We get the cabela's and the rapala.
Have you ever had a fish fry with fresh bluegill you caught that morning?
Yes, not
no.
Bluegill. Not
Yeah, that's
bluegill.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, not bluegill.
You don't know anything about anything. You go out there in a little John boat.
Everybody's got a different name.
You get out there with a little John boat. You throw your little worm with a little bobber. You fucking rip that shit. You catch about 15 fucking bluegill in the morning.
Fisherman,
you keep it in the fucking live well, and then that night you pull them out. You fucking boom the scale, right in the fryer.
Some lemon. Yep, some lemon. Here's the thing. What the hell was I just gonna say?
I don't know. We used to go bass fishing all the time.
Well, I got a text. We have the prop hunter. We have the line movement tracker. We have more than just myself and Jacob. We got Betsam. We got Artem. We got the artificial intelligence. We also have a $2 super chat from AO New York. DraftKings. You can match money line with any round you want, so you can build your own same game parlay. Thank you, Ale, for pointing that out. Unfortunately, we can't use that.
He's in the streams a lot, too. He donates a lot in the stream.
He was in this stream a shit ton. So, yeah, thank you all. Thanks for being here. We appreciate every last one of you.
Like the video. Angel said if we get 500 likes on this video, he'll do the next stream in a Mickey Mouse voice the whole time. Oh, thanks, Minnie. You want to plow me?
That will not happen. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. Thank you.
Thank me, Minnie. We can
For
cuss.
the watch.
Yeah, we can cuss at the end. Don't forget.
Oh, that's so exciting. Guys, don't do it. We appreciate every last one of you, and we'll catch you for the rest of the content later this week.